Joining us. All right. Sweet. Awesome. Awesome. I think we're live. Letting people in. All right. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of our Stay at Home Open Mic. And this isn't just any edition, it's a special edition. We are going to be celebrating two features, our first time doing this. So we started this back in April, and it's been a lot of fun. Every Monday we've been able to kind of create a new kind of community online. And so today, it's a very, I think it's a day filled with lots of history, and recently there's been attempts to do something more important about reclaiming what this day means for people. And so to celebrate, Indigenous Peoples Day, at least here in the US as it's known, because we forget about that other day. We got to start thinking against that. And we have two very awesome performers today, and they're going to be coming up throughout the show. But we do have Tyrone Ross Thompson in the house, and if we can give him a round of applause, if you guys want to unmute and all that, and make some noise for Tyrone.
Yeah. Woo! Yeah.
Awesome. And of course, we also have our friend Yolanda Matias Garcia join us from Guerrero, Mexico. Both are gonna come with some fire in their sets, and of course, it's also open mic. I'm happy to have you guys here. My name is Richie Marrufo. I'll be your host, and I'm coming to you from El Paso, Texas. That's kind of where most of this is centered, and it's a stay-at-home open mic. And we are brought to you by the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series. You can follow us online anywhere, pretty much. If you type in Barbed Wire Open Mic Series, it'll turn up. You're going to see a lot of our regulars tonight. And really, we just want to show love to poetry, to spoken word, to creation, because it is an act of resistance to create in times of being stagnant and complacency and destruction. So it's our kind of act of resistance today, where we're talking about decolonizing poetry, and it does kind of require that act. So we're coming together in community for this, and I love all the voices, and if you're listening right now, wherever you're listening, show some love in the chat. It's good to have you guys here. We're just gonna kind of jump right off into it. In fact, I guess I got asked to start off because it's hard to go first, and so I'm gonna do a little piece that I always like to do. Gotta turn some stuff on. Can you guys hear me all right? Check. 1, 2. All right. Can you guys hear that? Okay. All right. Cool. I can't hear you right now, so just signal. I can see some of you. If it sounds cool, just keep doing that. If it, I don't know. If it sounds bad, you guys can also just be like this, because it'll give me some support anyway. It's harder to do it without live.
I can hear.
Did Richie freeze?
He's trying to get a second mic for his looper, but it's just feedback.
Much.
You completely dropped out for most of that. There's just a bunch.
I got greedy. Okay, I turned off the static. Yeah, sorry about that. Dang. I bit off more than I can chew. I tried to do so much. But you know what? I'm gonna go a cappella. Yeah, poetry, from the voice. Yeah, this is a piece. It's dedicated to all of you. It's usually like my invocation piece, and it's called Desert Rituals. All right, here we go. First, there was the fox, and then so much more, as Brother Bear beckons breath, blows the conch, creates the blues and blessings of creation. Ay, permiso. Let us through to thrive in the desert You can hear the sounds of existence breathing in and out towards persistence. See, we're living to be living and living before living, but death wears the mask of the living. We are a society transcendent in incandescent light and dust as dead stars ignite to incite the unique verse of our universe. As twin-circled universal moons elevate and reveal axiomatic truth. If we must die, we must die, but not until we have lived. Mira, el sol. Mira, la luna. Bodies of light and yearning return from that ether of timelessness. You see, is hidden in that lonely nopalito that grows in the desert. You are not alone. You are just the beginning. Sprout seeds of mandala meanderings. Because the dance of life and death reveals itself to those who truly listen, who stand triumphant under the glow of a hungry moon. These are residual, spiritual, individual rituals in tune with the collective. These are our sacred desert visions. You see, you gotta plant your roots and help you grow. You gotta find your voice and let it flow. These are our sacred desert visions. All right, that's all I got. I usually do that with the beatbox looper thing, but I'll figure that out. Thanks, guys.
Great job, Richie.
Woo! I love that piece. I'm used to hearing you with your equipment, but it sounds so good a cappella too.
You know, doing it a cappella kind of forces me to, like, I don't know, be more emphatic too. Anyway, yo.
Hey, Richie, I want to ask you a question.
Hey, Brian.
Did I just find out that you're part of some kind of thing to do with the New Eurekan on Wednesday?
Yes, I am.
You should put that information in the chat because, you know, that's going to be a really good event. And we always look forward to seeing Richie perform.
Hey, appreciate that, Brian. In fact, I think you're going to be going up second right now. And I'll get that info so I can announce it. It is what people call, usually it's Hispanic Heritage Month, but, you know, there's so much having to do with identity that a lot of people reject that. I kind of do personally. So a lot of people call it Latinx Heritage Month. I know people say stuff about that too, but there's going to be a really cool reading at Bloomfield College that our friend Paul Latorre is going to be putting together.
He calls himself Paul Con Queso.
Paul Con Queso on Instagram. And in fact, not just me, Mr. Tesosomok is going to read it as well as Lee MS. So we'll post that stuff once we get there. But it's cool to be included with the New Eurekan poets, even though I've only performed like once or twice.
Well, they left out all the Sephardic Jews. You know, we have a Spanish background.
We'll make it happen. All right. Cool. Yeah, I mean, so kind of speaking, there's a lot of online communities right now. We're doing online readings and open mics, and it's just really fun to kind of see people interacting and doing stuff together. So let's just move on because there's some people I want you guys to hear if you've never heard them before. And the goal is also, like, when you read, after you read, share your social media so people watching can follow you and support your journey as an artist, as a writer, as a musician. And yeah, let's just kind of dive into. We have Lee MS. You heard the name right now. Lee is also going to be featured as well. Is it still too early? I don't know. We got you. We you know, it's like a roller coaster. You're on, you know, buckled in. Lee will be featured as well this coming Wednesday and is going to read right now. Guys, make some noise and welcome Lee to the stage.
All right, so these are some of the readings that I might read for the other one. So I'm just gonna show two today in here, both English and Spanish. So here it goes. This is the Spanish version and it's called Paso del Norte. Has dejado ya de llamarme como antes lo hacías. El estridente zumbido de tu inquietud ya no resuena en mi pecho, ni las ansias por verte aceleran mi cuerpo. Tus calles están solas, solía llamarte casa, ignorando lo dilapidado de tus calles, de tu gente, yo incluido. Las luces apagadas, cortinas cerradas, en cuclillas esperando que pasara la noche. El clamor de tus noches me han dado suficiente insomnio para durarme toda una vida. Tu fulgor ahora es el camino hacia los dientes de un leviatán abisal, de lejos cautivante, de cerca letales. Llegaron a rozar tus dientes las aceras de mi infancia, pero somos resistentes gracias a la cercanía de transeúntes, personas siguiendo en conjunto las luces de tus calles. Después del siniestro, las luces una vez más bailando sobre tus ventanas y la música ahogando el llanto. Puerta hacia el sur, te has convertido en mi refugio, cerca y lejos a la vez de las luces de mi hogar. Distancia suficiente para lograr ver atisbos de su vida, de cómo todo sigue para el resto de sus hijos, y me deja atrás, resguardado tras tus paredes. Tardé años en establecer cimientos sobre ti. Angustiado por la boca del lobo de tus calles y perplejo por el silencio detrás de tus muros. Casi me matas de hambre, famélico, hambriento por contacto, por saber el nombre de los rostros adyacentes tan siquiera. Y ahora, la calma. Me he alejado lo suficiente para no encontrar alivio en su memoria, pero lo suficientemente cerca para añorar lo que dejé atrás. And then the English version, it's still called Paso del Norte. Your voice has stopped calling for me. The jarring buzzing of your unquietness no longer beats against my chest, and I can no longer feel that anxiousness that used to shake me to the core when I thought of you. You are empty streets. I used to call you home, ignoring your dilapidated streets, your people, me included. Lights off, curtains shut close, kneeling as we waited for the night to end. The uproar of your nights have given me enough insomnia to last me a lifetime. Your brightness is now the road leading the way to the sharp teeth of a giant anglerfish. Captivating from afar, lethal up close. Your teeth manage to graze the pavements of my childhood, but we are resilient when in masses, travelers following in unison the same captivating light. After the chaos, we celebrate again with lights illuminating the windows of your houses and the music drowning out the outcry of the city. Door to the south, you have turned into a refuge, as far away as you're close of my home, sufficient distance to catch glimpses of its life, of how everything continues as usual for my siblings, and it all leaves me behind, safeguarded by your walls. It took years to settle down on you, always nervous of the coyote's snarl rounding up your streets, and perplexed by the silence behind your fences. You make me touch-starved, almost famished for connection, content even with simply knowing the name of the neighboring stranger. And now it is calm. I have put enough distance from my city to feel no relief in its proximity, but close enough to miss what I had left behind. Ooh. And that was the first one.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And the second one that I will read is also English and Spanish, but this one's shorter. It's called Tightrope or Cuerda Floja. First, the English version. We have walked back and forth this line for ages, carefully balanced between the borders of existence, bordering who we are and what the two sides of the line tells us to be. We have survived, excelled in creating a new self that defines us, for who we strive to be at the end of the line. But now we take a step back, partly to process, partly to detach. Now it's time again to readjust realities, paradigms of worlds colliding where we least expected them to do so. Rediscover wounds and generational traumas in order to heal. First in silence, in the empty rooms of our heads with too much to process and too little to grasp. In the middle of a loose line, close from home and yet so far. Hemos caminado infinidad de veces sobre esta cuerda floja, cautelosamente balanceados entre los confines de nuestra existencia, aprendiendo a cruzar las fronteras de quienes somos y quienes cada lado quisiese que fuéramos. Hemos sobrevivido, excedido expectativas al crear identidades que nos definen por quienes queremos ser al final de la línea. Pero ahora damos un paso atrás, parcialmente para procesar, parcialmente para desconectarnos. Ahora es tiempo de reajustar realidades, paradigmas de mundos encontrándose en los lugares que menos esperábamos, redescubriendo heridas viejas y traumas generacionales para poder sanar, primero en silencio, en el cuarto vacío de nuestras cabezas, con mucho que procesar y tan poco que comprender. En medio de la cuerda floja, tan lejos de casa, pero tan cerca.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Snappity snap, snap, snap. So those are great. Those would be great for Wednesday.
I'm still not sure, but yeah, I got some. And social media stuff, you can...
On top of it.
There we go.
There it
So
is.
you can follow me on Instagram as Cadáveres Literarios, _literarios. Facebook is Lee Martinez Soto. And I go by Lee MS. You can also just call me Lee or Lee Martinez. That's good.
Lee in the house, getting things started, getting that vibe going. I love it. How long do we have on Wednesday again? I forgot. I haven't checked yet.
I don't think they have said yet about the length of it.
20 minutes. Got it.
5 minutes.
We'll figure it out.
People, how are you gonna get more than that?
Yeah, so it'll be great. It'll be a fun thing. So yeah, we'll post that info as soon as we can find the link. We post about it on our Instagram pages. But I love that you have the notebook now. With the that's what everyone should be doing. You know what I'm saying? So if you got a little notepad, you can just do that right now after you perform, just all your stuff. But thank you, Lee, as always. Let's go ahead and keep going. Next up, joining us from Florida. So we're going to be jumping around from coast to coast a little bit. We're going to the future. It's 2 hours ahead over there. She's a little sleepier, so we're going to get her on right now. We have Domo in the house. Domo Beth, how you doing today, Dominique?
I am doing. Woo!
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Thank you for saying things after you say from Florida, so I know it's Dominique. Okay, so I'm just doing poems this week. There's no time for music, and I don't want to get red flagged again. So. I did 2 poems, and I'm gonna get out of here. This is called No Name, but I wrote the time here that I wrote it, so 10:22 p.m. The Zoom meeting ended and the dark hole returned where twinges of life had just pumped through my fist-shaped muscle. I was alone again, and my room as just before that 50-minute connection to life. Back to reality, oops, there goes gravity, and with it 5,280 feet of to-dos and 150 pounds of pressure per square inch on my spaghetti thought train. I messed up today. I gave in to flesh, not for 1 or 2, but 8 hours today. Stayed glued to erotic stimulus and eyes wide shut to worldly tasks. I was captive in pornographic thoughts and acting out nature. I wanted sex, but I didn't want it. To live a life of such bad characters, but I didn't. My mind linked to their teenage horned up struggles, and I fought thoughts in my attic all day, but I fed it. Let it control my actions and haunt my eyelids. Imagery came from experience of troubled past and unsound mind, and I quivered in remembrance. Shuddered at the part that wished it were reality now. My insides are crying, and I just wish I was normal. If normal was being able to focus on a growing list of importance, if it was remembering the Bible verses I praised this morning and living by them, if it meant being able to function after a chapter or a video or a GIF or just an image, if it meant not obsessing and stressing, not losing myself every chance bad thoughts had, if it means cuddling without sick motives, but I am a sex addict. And that's the first one. And thank you for loving me, Erica. And this one is called What is Home? I went to a workshop last week, so wrote this. Where eyes roam with lingering judgment and envious gaze, they praise in thought waves and hide insults and snickers in cheek pockets like the rodents they criticize. Oh, wait. This poem is not about failed family. Newfound arms sprawl open with care and glance, open hearts and sound minds, or at least a resemblance, where they understand me. More than flesh and blood, more than friends of lifelong knowledge, they accept me. But home is not just one place. Its judgeless eyes of childlike stature and maturity and growth, its small hands caressing my cheeks to see if I'm okay. Without words to form sentences, just tiny hums to show my heart is in his safekeeping, to show I have his supervision. Home is bigger hands, protection and vigilance, as if guns were my fingers and he was a bulletproof vest. It's his smile, reassuring love and planned life, where appreciation is immediate, where they cannot think of life without me and I without them. Home is my sister's love, my nephew's heart, my dad's wariness, my mother's weakness, my support group. It's multi-dimensional and multi-purposed. It's so much more than words can describe. I wrote this.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Starting a trend. So Instagram, creatively Domo. Are those 3 different Instagram accounts?
Yes, I have too many Instagrams, as you can see.
Domo in the house and life_as_Domo. All right. Follow all of them. Awesome. Always great having you.
Thank you.
And for kicking things off. Yeah, it's kind of hard to kind of get started, but you guys are killing it, honestly. So if you do want to perform and you haven't had a chance to sign up yet, there's still a little bit of space. We do have 2 featured, so we're going to make sure to get them their time. We're going to do a 2 or 3 more poets, and we'll bring up our first feature of the night. So let's see. Okay. We're sticking along the East Coast. We're going a little up north, though, and we're going to take you to Brunswick, Maine, where our man, El Generalissimo, Brian Franco, is here. And go and take away. He's got some poetry for you guys. Let's make some noise and welcome Brian Franco to the stage. El Generalissimo.
Yeah, Brian.
So how much time do you want to
About like 5 minutes.
Okay, good. I've got 3 pieces that I did in the Tumblewords workshop on Saturday. They do it every Saturday. I'll put the link into the chat. I'm gonna put the link in the chat for another workshop that's tomorrow night in New York City called Line Breaks in Bronx Beat, done by a woman named Peggy Robles Alvarado, and she is incredible. I'm also going to do for an open mic on Friday night. So, but let me do these 3 pieces. They had an amazing man, Bill Sparks. I think you know him, Richie, who ran it. He's a veteran and an amazing human being, and he had this whole history thing going on with the theme of the night. So I'm going to read all 3 poems that I wrote. I can get to the top of the page. The first is The 3 Faces of History. History is a strange word. History is about what happened yesterday. History is often remembered differently by different people. History is knowledge and lessons learned. History can mold what happens in the future through mistakes made in the past. History can teach us what is good and what is bad. History can teach us who to love and who to hate. History can be remembered differently by different people. History can be fact or fiction or even a matter of opinion. History is a strange word, or is it a concept, or might it just be a thought? Inspired by Kellyanne Conway to a degree. Okay, a 10-speed through modern history, a 10-speed tour through modern history. When Challenger exploded, I was in a class called Psychology of Personal Growth. The teacher, a psychologist, moved chairs into a circle each week to treat her lectures like a group therapy session. I don't remember much more about the class except when I described it to my dad, he called it hippy dippy. I rode my 10-speed back to my dorm. People were spilling from the common room, which had 2 ovens, a table and chairs that sat 6, 2 couches and 2 armchairs, and a TV mounted high on a wall like in a hospital room. It was like a New York City subway at rush hour. Students standing shoulder to shoulder, barely room to move, all watching an image of the space shuttle suddenly turning into 2 plumes of smoke, over and over and over and over again. The same way I would watch the World Trade Center demolished by terrorists 25 years later. It wasn't so much surreal as unreal, like a bad B movie with unrealistic special effects. It was my first where were you historical moment. Where were you when FDR died, when World War II ended, when JFK was shot, when Martin Luther King was assassinated, when I returned from Psychology of Personal Growth after the Challenger was no longer, everything had stopped. On 9/11, when one plane, then another, took out the Twin Towers like a well-choreographed 1-2 TKO from a Rocky movie, everything closed down. Portland, Maine was a ghost town. Lower Manhattan was covered in toxic dust, just like the skies above Cape Canaveral had permanently imprinted astronaut ashes and dust into Florida firmament and my memory. Thank you. Poem 3. Common sense has drowned in Lake Michigan. A sheriff in Michigan claims militiamen who own multiple military-style guns weren't planning to kidnap Michigan's governor, hold a mock trial, then execute her, but instead conduct a citizen's arrest and hand her over to authorities as if she's not the governor, an authority, but a con man who conned his way into the White House, demoted her via Twitter to that woman, and refused to condemn white supremacists and armed militias who use the same guns used by drug dealers, terrorists, and mass shooters, called her that woman and tweeted, "Liberate Michigan." The governor of Michigan is no longer governor in the minds of those militiamen. Thank you, everyone.
Damn, Brian.
Yeah, yes, sir. Cool, Brian. Any words you'd like to share right now before we leave off?
No, I mean, I always get surprised by what comes out of some of these things, and I think that the great thing about Tumblewords is the variety of the facilitators that they have. I mean, I've done only one before, but it's different people from different walks of life, not just people who are solely professional writers or whatever. It's you really get to feel life through that, and then you can pull some good stuff out of your brain. That's wanting to get out anyways.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. I agree. Like it's a great time, and if you have writer's block, which I think everyone has at times, it's a good thing to hit up because it forces you to write. And it doesn't have to be perfect.
I'm going to put this and that other one in the chat. The one tomorrow night is fantastic. It's really a worthwhile thing, and you sign up on Eventbrite with that one.
Appreciate that. And we gotta make sure to share that on our YouTube stream as well. Really quick note of Tumblewords. Yeah, Bill Sparks is awesome. Love what he does with Tumblewords. Next Saturday, or this coming Saturday, my really good friend Ruby Orozco Santos is going to be presenting. You should definitely make it. She came out with a book last year called Inventos Míos. It won the Tejas Book Award, and it's perfect. She got a grant to write it from the city. You can do that. Did you know you can apply for grants and get money to do that with MCAD? If you're in El Paso, you should definitely look into that. And it's a really great book. It has a lot of ancestral wisdom, and that's kind of her thing, is ancestral health. And you should definitely check that one out. I think you should have experience, do some writing with. So that's this coming Saturday, Tumblewords. You can just find them on Facebook, Tumblewords Project. That's all you have to look up. Okay, cool. Let's move on. We got, yes.
So Brian, you know how Monica Berger shows her shoes? You show off menorahs. Can you tell us a little bit about this one?
Yes, this one, I did actually two very similar ones. They're called the Dancing Saguaros, and this is Senorita Flamenco. And if you give me a second, I can switch off to the Senor real quick. Let me try to pull up that little special effect for you.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. And this is her hubby, Senor Flamenco.
Oh.
And they're dancing.
You've taken the traditional to the next level of avant-garde menorahs?
Well, this was all done like around 2001 when I was trying to do it, and it did not financially work out for me. But yes, I sort of did something very, very new, although I don't think anything is really new in art. But I think that what I did was different than everything else out there. And when I went to some shows, a lot of people thought I was Israeli because Israeli art tends to be very, very contemporary looking and very modern. But I was just an American.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you, Mr. Taz, for noticing my art.
Of course.
Absolutely. And I always ask, I dropped the ball that time, man, because I'm like, I always have to ask. That was a good tag team. Like you got my back there.
Oh, well, I'm still waiting for Mr. Tez to bring out his guitar one time because I've seen it when he's waiting, but he never uses it when he's reading or when. So we're waiting for that.
I will.
One day, right?
Yeah, it'll happen. We'll make it happen for sure. We'll do a special night for that.
A bongo guitar night.
There you go. Perfect. I got the bongos right behind here. By the way, this is the beautiful El Paso and Juarez together right there. It's my late night TV show host kind of background. All right, let's keep going. Because Next up is one of my favorite, like of all time, to collaborate with, to work with. She's been there over the years, and I'm always excited about her work. And we're starting the movement, you know, Paso Poet Laureate. We haven't had that title in years, and I want it to be her. If we do that again, it's gonna be her. Guys, let's go ahead and make some noise and welcome Celia Aguilar to the stage.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Richie. You're always so kind.
I mean it.
So first of all, I want to say Happy Indigenous Peoples Day. El Paso just officially changed the holiday. So I'm excited about that, but also we can't forget that there are still tons of other issues and we can't really ignore that, including, you know, the missing and murdered women, land sovereignty, the people, the Odom peoples are right now actively fighting to reject this border wall, you know? But anyways, I just feel like we can't let this little victory let us be complacent and forgetful of all of that. But anyway, this is just have a couple of pieces to share with you. This is called Historical Trauma. I constantly get asked what I am. You look Yaqui. You could easily be Pueblo. With your hair like that, you look Toltec, Samoan, Pocahontas. Really? I'm Mexican. My ancestors, original inhabitants of these stolen lands, raped lands, and my people's history is not recorded, is erased, disappeared, like my people. But I long to say I'm Huachichil, Zacateco, Purepecha, Apache, Huicharitari, Raramuri, but all I can say is I'm of this earth. My birth certificate says I'm white, but we've never been treated as such, and I've never been confused for one. They've tried to disappear us through categories in the census, history books, and museum exhibits behind the barrel of a gun. Textbooks make it seem like natives are extinct, Mayans are of the past, but they still exist. In Mexico, Michigan, mines and minefields and fields of produce, and maybe we don't know our names, but we still remain dark-skinned, warrior blood, healers, children of the sun, planters of corn, protectors of the water, keepers of tradition and ancient medicine, burning copal, smudging with sweetgrass and sage, building altars to hold our offerings. We are offerings, sacred elements, guardians, suffering from amnesia. So I long to say who I am, and all I can say is everything connected to cosmos through carbon composition, celestial dust and four elements, my soul, the fire of hearth and home, my organs made of life-giving water, my cells feeding off the air that sustains my body birthed from this earth, all lives within me, united by series of atomic strings. Who I am? I am a universal light being, surviving through blood memory. So that's the first piece. The second piece that I have is, I wrote this a really long time ago, and it was one of the first things I performed, and I haven't done it in a while. It's Capitalism Blues. I got the can't pay my bills blues, the living check to check cause all that matters is money, can't find a decent job stress. I got the can't get out of bed blues, and it's close to noon. The sun's been shining on my face for 5 hours and I still don't have the strength to get up and shower blues. There's 8 of us in a 3-bedroom house. I can't find my privacy and everyone's so fucking loud blues. And I don't want to wear shoes because I got them nostalgia blues, them We feel wearing, hair braiding, adobe home living, metate, hard work, sweat and harmony and duality, take care of the earth and each other blues. The pre-consumer values, natural balance, communal living, real food, not this GMO bullshit blues. The pre-Columbian, pre-colonial, pre-conquista nostalgic blues. The watching people get sicker and sicker, richer and richer, poor and poor, higher and higher, lower and lower blues. The sick of corruption, my city should be thriving, can't stand this pollution, tired of higher rates of incarceration, don't need your miseducation or hush money donation trying to distract us so we don't reach liberation blues. But that's all old news, and as melodious, historically rich, and soulful the tunes, I'm getting pretty sick of these blues. I'm sick of wishing blues were greens, so I'm gonna mix all the colors and make my own palette so the rest of the hippie liberals can satisfy their palates and paint their own world based on their talents. I'm gonna swap these blues for some cumbia and sway my hips to the rhythm of the earth's beating heart, drop this false reality and plunge headfirst into a new start. Detached from these destructive delusions, I find strength in the struggle for a solemn solution, solace in the art of revolution, peace in the process of my own reconstruction, because I don't need to live as a victim of a created ideology, a symptom of a system that doesn't work, yet refuses to acknowledge its lack of worth or how its existence makes existence worse, yet continues to dictate what our lives should be worth. Shit. So I'll replace it all ceremoniously, taking the old to the hearth, anxiously awaiting my catalyzed rebirth. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. That's what's up. Make some noise, Celia.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
So good.
That's an all-time classic. Like I still remember some of those lines, just like it was my heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? Like I love being able to sing, say some of those words along. I had to make sure I was muted though. That would have been awkward if I was saying them along with you. How can people follow you online and support your work?
I think probably the best way is just to find me on Facebook, Celia Aguilar. I don't have a notebook. Y'all are on top of it. But that's probably the easiest way, and I'm working on some stuff. I'll come back next time when I'm recording a few tracks, and I'm super excited about finally getting that done. So I'll come back and share all of that with you guys.
Yeah, we'd absolutely love that. And in fact, since this is public, I've been asking forever, but we're gonna do a podcast where we do a little interview and then talk about your stuff. But we'll worry about that in the future. Thank you, Celia. Definitely find her online, Celia Aguilar. Appreciate it. That's some good words for the soul, right, Erica? Right?
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Sweet. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So we're going to bring up one more open mic performer, and then we'll bring up our first feature of the night. We have two amazing poets that are featured, our first time doing this online. So before we do that, we're going to get our friend Rich Glennon from Bayside, New York. Richmond's coming through now for the last couple of weeks. He's keeping the streak going. Welcome, Rich. Good to have you again.
Good to be here.
Rich.
Thanks, Richie.
Itokayo.
Woo! I'm honored to be opening up for a feature for Tyrone. I'm going to do three small pieces. The first piece is called Ants. We are ants living in a new shoe that has not been worn yet. Extinction is afoot. Okay, that's the first one. Second one is called Waiting Room. I can't help feeling like a spaz when I say, nice weather we're having. But sometimes you just feel good and forget you don't start conversations. My fellow patient invariably agrees, notes how unseasonably warm it is, but I wish they wouldn't, and for once, look up at the beige wall before us and mumble something off color, like, "It's a fine day for plugging my wife." Such spice would doctor up my lazy line and transfer us from a waiting room to a three-walled movie set. But I would be too flustered by the heightened stakes to attempt a volley, lest I ruin the scene with more cliche filler and cause the bearded director to burst in, his forehead swarming with veins, as if his beret has rooted into its host. So I smile politely, gratefully, at my abettor for sticking to the script. A great smile, whose corners connect and create a round period on my face as I get comfortable, put my feet up on the two-line conversation bleeding on the carpet before us, and open my smoking book. And the last piece I got is called Grandma's Cooking. Her dishes are basic. Anyone can do it. Grandma makes nothing worth mentioning. What did I do? She asks. What? It's just chicken. You stick it in the oven. That's it. She is speaking of the smokestack plate billowing Simpsons clouds until unveiling a landscape of manicured ingredients. You dive into the ancient world, tempered by grease fires, eroded by forearm burns, cracked by bits of prehistoric eggshells, chiseled by the sharp rice of fish bones. Bland mishaps of yore dictate the current seasons. Salty veins blotch every swath of sky. You tell her this place is amazing over and over again, but she doesn't believe it. All she sees is a lumpy world of shadows, a ball of burnt crust. She sees nothing amazing. She sees nothing worth mentioning. Okay, thank you.
Yes, awesome, man.
Yeah, Rich.
Woo!
Oh yeah.
I love it, man. You got some. I love your playfulness with language. You know, you can often take an irreverent line and transform it into some interesting imagery, and I've always loved that. And it's cool. I read those poems on your Instagram. Again, you know, I love it. So, how can people who are hearing you for the first time find your work online?
Well, thank you very much for saying that. You're very kind. I post, as you mentioned, I post on Instagram and on Tumblr. Just my name, Rich Glidden, on Instagram and Tumblr. And thank you for the space. Thank you for hosting, and I appreciate it.
Appreciate you as always.
Yeah, Rich, we appreciate you, man.
Thank you. By the way, yeah, if you guys don't know, like, you guys can snap, you can clap, you can share, you can whoop, you can holler, just make some noise. That's how we show support, always, in live in person or online. If you guys are on the YouTube live chat, thank you guys for tuning in with us live. Make sure to drop some comments, drop some emojis there, some fire emojis, maybe a nice little mic emoji. Some snaps. Let us know you're here. If you guys are watching this at some point in the future, our future, not yours, it's your present, but we welcome you either way. So we're ready to bring up our first feature. I'm excited. And he's joining us from a little up north, but I know you've done some online open mics as well, and so I'm just gonna let you take it away. I don't want to take too much of your time, so let's go ahead and make some noise and welcome Tyrone Thompson to the stage.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
What's up? All right, thank you, and thanks for inviting me to this space. Again, I'm Tyrone Ross Thompson, Hawaiian from Nez Perce of the Columbia River, and I'm a contributing writer for Lassville Indians, and I'll be reading 3 poems. This first one is called Fish Ladder and Horsemanship. Who has the authority to decide what ancestors needed? Decolonize by divided history. The blessings of wool for capitalism. The trenches of imperialism. I remember an infant's heart failure. A Fuhrer had to read in the eulogy and not even told at the funeral. I remember a red car's aftermath in a ditch, and another time finding a lifeless body, and various others buried by suicide, violence, and slow death. Is the wool of caskets less valuable because of bias and false wealth? It took years to accept family loss and face an addiction, the disease and recovery regret. Lost connection while rebuilding with family, while searching through history and recite Rashani humanity. Nonetheless, the Tenino, the Washington side of Slilah Falls and source of redemption, the divine center of historical importance, through melanin and blood vessels, their remembrance, complete warfare and spiritual survival. From here, the trail started of original kinship, represent at the banks of the river at Wallula, near the confluence, where 2,500 Nez Perce showed their horsemanship and non-treaty defiance. 165 years of assimilation before the constant one-upmanship, before the insistent validation. Any village people visited, from Land of the Butterflies to Tenino, where people are accepted. Before the colonial seal, sincere nobility, the hearts of wool by matrilineal, with unmatched dignity. Hunway had the power of song and foretold of life changing. Her symbols we acknowledge and hold. Through Sineon symbols and letter to the creator, Slilah Falls Fish Committee's memory is vivid. The struggle for basic dignity and power. The tenet's calm and impatient urgency, waiting to release for Washani humanity. History as deep as obsidian, and 200 YM warriors supported Kamayakan, and constantly heard of these stories in fear of responsibility. At times, I didn't want to accept this accountability. 1867, a decade after the war, a YM dreamer danced at Slilah and predicted a canal that would flood the 5 islands and the home buried. On March 10, 1957, born 2 centuries too late, his words stated for a reevaluation of resentment of divide and conquer, the centuries injury and confliction. Colonial systemic oppression often caused moments of doubt. The married neglected and death caused repression, created and living by survivors' remorse, the pain remnant and unknown future course. Nevertheless, slow reinvention, the lineage from power and place, from isolation to redemption, writing my collective drummers and dreamers with the goal of building collective power.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then this next one is Journey of Redemption. Never a moment of peace or resolve. Sovereign status and original kinship in a 2-century conflict. You have to validate to American dream chasers about being a dreamer, like we've got no significance or a large family, as if we absolutely need blue bear verification badges to attain redemption. Despite the egomaniac cliques, communities are incomplete. Native capitalism and selective sovereignty is incomplete, deranged while chasing glamour with no attempt to resolve. Funerals give us just seconds of unity and redemption. After the moment is shared, it's back to conflict. Forget the healing and dancing with family. Sometimes anyone can become a muted dreamer. Who will die with me tonight? The life of a dreamer, whose exile status for years made him incomplete. Those before our time was once a prominent family, while endlessly dying each day for a chance to resolve. And in a dream is where I find mediation or conflict, within the historical duty of redemption. I saw abandoned youth seeking redemption from a green tent setting, a message to the dreamer, gifting strength to prepare for potential conflict, messengers and martyrs to prevent others from being incomplete, and it is whose images were from dark to light to assist resolve by the continual reminder of historical family, a appearance to heal and unite family, defeating darkness out of isolation and for redemption, witness fear momentarily, but the heart also read resolve for the impatient into the calm, collected dreamer, historical duty subjugated and feeling incomplete. Although remember the lineage has significant roles in conflict, constantly wondering if a part of us is missing without conflict, and the war of the minds amongst the divided family, displaced from Salilo and forever incomplete, yet the Vashani tales endure redemption. Centuries upon centuries of a lineage lives through us as a dreamer, often tasked for searching for resolve, at times incomplete but arbitrary conflict, seeking resolve and healing with family, the journey for redemption of a YM dreamer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. And the next one is Letter to the Creator. It's a daily burden to grow stronger, trying and living with memory marked by hearsay and searching for power. Although lost self-love amongst the cycle of inane love, it may seem I lost faith from not standing on sacred soil, but it does not mean the tenant is diminished. It is people who have made a committee and had it corrupted. I now understand all old timers' anger and worshiping from home instead of out longhouses that became political. The homes have grown into qualification and upmanship of imaginary measurement and commanded respect instead of humility and kinship. The oppressor's world infected our service. Part of the indigenous world is hardly a service to each other. One of the elders' requests goes ignored from season to season and year after year. I'm often lost that all that has been damaged. But one action isolated me like a leper, but hasn't defined how I see the supreme spiritual. Despite it all, it infected humility. Suicide was a choice and an option. The depths of the negative became insanity. Witness and experience, like becoming institutionally traumatized. The colonizer's mark poisoned us and became historically traumatized. It was others trying to give definition into indigenous practice, like the repression by invading forces that caused oppression. Questioning if this is unresolved jealousy, a transfer of energy has unknown endurance. We're still all connected to everything essential, of life-giving sources and laws unwritten, that still guide our supreme Washani spiritual. Even though the society attempts us to be institutionally traumatized, some battle with our lives to destroy being historically traumatized. From season to season, year after year. And this is my letter to the Creator. Living and breathing in defiance of hidden wishes of others. And I'm still here, guided by the Washani, continually searching for humility, to improve for herself, to improve for self and collectivity, for indigenous elegance. Thank you for your time.
Yes, Shiro.
Beautiful, man. I'm glad you're able to join us. And really
Yeah.
quick, we all want to know about your work, your publications, and what you have going on in the literary world.
Yeah, so far I've been posting to Instagram. And then last
Because we want to hear more about you and what interesting work you're doing.
Yeah. So last month I was a featured reader with Claudia Castro Luna, and it's for Columbia River Keepers hosted. And so I've been in touch with her the past 2 years, and I just slowly write for Last Row Indians. I'll contribute there. And my plan is to finish at Eastern Washington University, and then I'll get my MFA, or try to attempt to get my MFA with the Institute of American Indian Arts, and just continually build and continue to write my experiences and what goes on within our communities. And then because it's so traumatic here, what authorities and what police forces and state governors and senators call the Yakama Indian Reservation is a death triangle, because there's at one point 2016 we were the highest suicide rate throughout the country, and it's 3 times the national average. So at 33 or 34, there's one strip of highway here, along Highway 97, where you have 3 out of 4 chance of getting in a fatal car wreck. And you know, the Hanford nuclear site, hydroelectric dams heating up the rivers. It's my intent to use this medium to grow and connect with people so that we can start having the resources of not just applying money to people, but applying those sources to, you know, regain our humanity back, regain our dignity back, so we don't have to experience all these constant losses. And so it's telling my personal story and weaving in within my history and letting people know that they're not isolated. And then so that's the long-term goal of how I want to use this medium. And I'm always glad to share with people and connect and try to do what I can. And then so that's kind of the work that I see. And then I'm part of various groups, and I was a delegate for Indigenous Environmental Network. And then, so it's finding how I can use these networks and utilize it for our voices and developing, not just for self-healing, but developing a long-term where our youth and our people have a future.
Thank you so much. I think you,
Yeah.
you know, your work really epitomizes my concept of what does it mean to decolonize.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not being represented, not having others speak for you, not
Yeah.
having somebody tell your story. And I think I'm impressed. You know, you have the power of your voice and your spirit.
Mhm.
We are very, very happy to have had you, share your words with us. And you know, anything we can do as a community, you know, you always have our support. And,
Oh, wow. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, right on. Very,
Yep.
very poignant and powerful. You know, not just
Yeah.
in the poetry, but the intention behind it, and what you just said right now. So
Yeah.
we got your back. You know, we thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Yeah. You're
And
welcome.
we can follow you Instagram. I saw it, Tyrone_YM.
Yeah.
YM.
WYAM. And Facebook page, YM Publishing. And yeah.
YM Publishing.
Thanks.
There you go.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. You were
You're
our very
welcome.
first feature at our online open
Oh, wow.
mics. Just so you know, that was
All right.
history right there.
It's cool. Quite an honor.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's keep enacting that change that we want to see in our
I'm
our
sorry, I
words
just
and our
have to
actions.
say,
Nico.
Yeah.
I just have to say, no, the honor is having your voice here. I've been, since they told us that this was the intent of having you two as features. It is truly an honor to have you here.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you, Nico. Yeah, Nico's gonna be sharing some words a little later on. We have a really good list, so I want to make sure we get through that. We got some people joining in from YouTube right now, so if you signed up from YouTube, I'm adding you to the list. We're gonna get there, but we're gonna get a couple more poets, and then we're gonna bring up Yolanda because I know it's a little late, and I don't want to make her wait too long. So we're gonna go and bring up one of our powerhouses here in El Paso, who's a consistent contributor to Tumble Words. And her books of poems are amazing. And I know she's been working on some new stuff. We have Robin Schofield up next. Robin, how are you today? Good to have you back.
Pretty good. How's everybody?
Yeah, Robin.
Excellent. Yeah.
All right. All right, I'm going to read some end of times poetry. Seems like the right zeitgeist. And this one is called Signs of the Times. The white buffalo has been born, and a two-headed calf. How can you be sure these are the signs? An unkindness of white ravens rises in the northwestern forests. Did you note the eclipse of the harvest moon? Have you thought long about the sunset? Well, have you? A pink dolphin frolics in a Louisiana lake. What does it all mean? Have you studied the names and added their numbers? Analyzed the qualities of heat and moisture, cold and dryness? What does it mean to be here in this world of physical properties where lead doesn't transmute to gold but poisons the children? Rattlesnakes may coil in the limestone cliffs strung with opal gemstones, creatures of fire. The soft blue damselflies, born of water, hover so near I could write with one, their ink of the sky. Where is the modern elixir, our hunting of the green lion and the yellow lodestone? While children are caged beside a fictional border, where the mercury thermometer surges upward and the coyote breathes in the smoke-filled air.
Damn.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm pretty sure I wrote both of these in Tumblewords, by the way. Okay, you don't have to like my poems. Sometimes I don't like them myself. This one's called At a Trumpet's Blast. We shall become known, whereas until that time, we shall have been unknown to ourselves, such as dark matter is known by absence of light and presence of gravity, starlight leaking. If this absence of light is your answer, whatever the question was, it is the one you have been given. Let go your cupped hands so that the solitary leaf-cutter bee goes to pollinate the star-crossed bougainvillea and solar flare Tacoma. She is all the universe will ever need. Dark matter nesting in the knotty pine fence. Her monotonous song ever circling. When the trumpet sounds, will we be left behind? Will she be the one transformed? Say it to the scrub desert. Your answer is the pollen, golden sacrament on black legs. This galaxy now circling a black hole and whatever dark matter holds us together. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robin. Always a treat when you can make it. And I know your last book of poems, Flow, is it still out there?
Oh yeah, Flow. Yes, you can. I'll put my Gmail address up there. You can write to me and get a copy of Flow if you want to. That's the best way because my little publisher doesn't have a website yet. Although we're thinking about it.
Oh, you absolutely have to. You know, look at all the love and praise. People will definitely buy that. And also, you have another one in the works, right?
Yeah, I have a companion volume to Flow. It's called Drive. It's also going to be Street of Trees Projects.
I love it. And I love that name too. You say Straight Up Trees Projects?
Street of Trees Projects. Yeah.
Okay.
Projects.
Awesome. Thank you, Robin. And you
Thank
saw
you.
there, and you saw there, Kit loves them too, you know, despite the fact he doesn't have to like them, but he does anyway.
He doesn't have to.
It's not a
Okay,
requirement.
I'm glad I have that clear now, but I do anyway. So it's too late for me to change my mind.
Okay, good. In the good ones.
There's no nepotism there. All right. Thank you, Robin. So we're gonna, I think for the sake of time, we'll bring up one more open mic performer and then we'll bring up our next feature just so she doesn't have to wait that long. And then we got a full-on open mic list, so we're gonna make sure everyone gets on. But right now, for the first time here at this open mic, I've seen her at some of the other online mics. I know that she does Poets and Muses podcast. and I've checked that out. That's pretty cool. But we have Imogen Arate in the house. Are you here with us, Imogen?
Yes, I am. Hi, Richie. How are you?
I'm great. Good to see you. Oh, look at that. How are you? Cool. So what you got for us today?
Hi. So I got two poems. The first one is called Erosion. If I can find it. Erosion. The ice in Antarctica is singing. The article title reads, I've heard a snippet. Sounds more like a groaning or the sound effects of 2001, A Space Odyssey. Perfect for Halloween. This prolonged make-believe that's taken over our lives with ghouls pointing to ghosts from whom they growl, we should be running. Just look at them, he warned, as if their look, like Medusa's stare, is enough for us to lose sight of who they really are. White as sheets. From dragging their bodies across landscapes we'd pay to ride on ATVs during our better days. Now littered with the remnants of their possessions, things taken in a hurry to catch the last glimmer of life outside worsening destruction, now scattered, discarded, and left to disintegrate like the bodies of the ones who weren't ready for such a long, arduous journey. Who is ever ready? We're the residents of New Mexico Beach with all our advanced technology and the dire, steady warnings. Yet the howling that accompanies this choir now groaning from a closely monitored south shouts orders for us to leave and shoves mercilessly our migration towards safer tomorrows because we refused yesterday to acknowledge its existence. No, we had no hand in its creation. We're just here to take assured there'll always be more tomorrows laden with overflowing cornucopias instead of oceans overflowing our beaches and consuming all our possessions, now scattered to the seas, like those of our southern neighbors in the sea of sand, separating us from danger, except the ones we keep creating. Thank you. Now I just have to find the other poem, sorry.
That was gorgeous.
Thank you. This is short. It's called Connected. Look at all the constellations falling in our shadows, all the dust that we comprise, the edges of our beings bridged by the light casting in between, and our separation is never truly cleaved. Though time may distort our shapes and push our outlines to meet, it only wants to be helpful to blend together the essence. It knows to be the same.
Wow, that was powerful. That was great. Lots of love for that. So Imogen, welcome to Barbed Wire Open Mic, our stay-at-home online mic. Tell us about your show there and a little bit about your writing. It's good to have you.
Thank you, thank you. So I host Poets and Muses at poetsandmuses.com. I can't figure out which way to, there it is, called poetsandmuses.com. And also on Instagram and Twitter under Poets and Muses. I'm going to show this. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, you can't see it. Never mind.
The green screen is hiding it.
The green screen. Oh my God. And still not showing it. Never mind. Anyway, you can see it. It's right there. It's behind me. It's poetsandmuses.com. It's a weekly poetry podcast where I chat with poets about their inspirations. We use two poems, one poem from the poet featured poet and one poem from myself. we use them as doorways to just have a conversation about poetry and, just what it took to write those poems. And, we just like, it just sounds like a coffee chat between two poets. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. And I've been writing since I was a teenager, but not continuously. So, yeah, and I write in 4 languages. I publish in 2, and you can see my latest 2 pieces in Disc Journal, short for Dystopia, is an Australian publication. So you could just check out the Instagram, it'll have the information. Or poetry.
That's so cool. I'm really glad you made it, because I have seen you in previous shows. I've just kind of attended and checked out some New Yorkers, some others here and there, but I really like the show. And so I'm glad you were able to join us today. If you guys are watching, go follow, go check out some episodes, and get inspired. And of course, everybody was loving the mask, by the way.
Thank you. I'm gonna post the links in the chat. Sorry, I'm really tired today. So I'm glad we reconnected. I didn't realize this was yours. I wanted to check yours out, but I just, like, so many things, kind of forgot. So I'm glad to finally check it out, even by accident. Very happy about that.
There you go. We made it. It's, there are many paths up a mountain. It doesn't happen immediately, but we'll all find each other at some point. So thank you, Imogen. Beautiful, beautiful. What's up? So I think now, just so we can get her on, because I know she's waiting there and she's really excited to perform. We have our other feature, our feature out of Guerrero, Mexico, Yolanda Matias Garcia. She has a book of poems that she did, a book of poetry in Nahuatl called Flowers of the Sun. But I'm gonna go ahead and invite Mr. Tesosomoc, because he's going to offer an English translation, but we did invite Yolanda to share some of her poems, and I'm gonna let Mr. Tesosomoc share, kind of introduce her today. Let's see, is he here with us? Yeah, you are.
Here, can
Cool.
you put us on, like, side by side, I guess?
Let me work on that. Where are you though? Okay, there you are. Okay, I'm working on it. We got you. Cool, got you. And then I'm glad this is a new feature, by the way. Let's see. There you go. Got you guys.
So I'm gonna do the English and introduction, and then I'll come back and do a short one for Yolanda. Voy a hacer una introducción larga en inglés y luego vuelvo y podemos empezar, Yolanda.
Claro que sí.
¿Está bien?
Sí, de acuerdo.
Entonces voy a hacer su introducción ahorita. So Yolanda is a Nahuatl speaker from the mountain of Guerrero, the state of Guerrero. They are known for a very strong resistance. They had, her and I have worked with mutual folks on issues of indigenous work. And she's an elementary school teacher who's retired. In the last 10 years, she has published her book here, and she has, I believe, 3 other books she has published. And obviously, and actually currently right now, she is also working on a language writing class with the University of the state of Guerrero. To bring on new young writers. There was a very important piece of work that was put out by the work of León de Portilla, whose focus was to try to take the old books and then to hand them to the indigenous people, the representatives of their communities, and to sit with them as intellectual equals and to produce new volumes of work from there. One of the really important works is one I want to use to connect with Yolanda, which is Los 15 Poetas del México Antiguo, the Nahuatl poet, the 50 Nahuatl poets is a collection of the tradition of poetry is extremely very embedded in the culture. And one of the of those 15 poets was a woman by the name of Makri Sochi from 1437, and she was an equal with the other poets of her time. And so Yolanda, references her as an inspiration for the long continuity of people who've been carrying this tradition, that while the old orthography may have been removed from the communities, they have continued to do it orally. And then she is one of the first couple of generations that have begun to do much of that work of trying to bring indigenous languages. And more important is to bring indigenous literature back to the forefront. So I'm very excited that she is here with us, particularly because we do have some friends in common, but more importantly, because she is, she does embody that spirit that links back, for thousands of generations, for thousands of years to the original in Sochi, which is the tradition of writing poetry in the Mesoamerican culture. Estaba hablando un poquito, diciendo de sus obras de trabajo, de que usted es una maestra de primaria y de que está dando clases a los jóvenes a través de la universidad sobre la literatura y del trabajo que ha hecho. Claramente lo estoy hablando en un resumen corto y explicando que usted usa la gran escritora o poeta del Mesoamérica de Makri Sochi como una inspiración para usted misma, y que pues yo siento que es una conexión y una línea desde de esos tiempos, y verdaderamente es un gran orgullo que usted pueda participar aquí, que pueda compartir sus voces. So she's going to read in Nahuatl and in Spanish, and then I'm going to read my English translation. She is legally blind. She had to retire from teaching because she lost her eyesight, but she is able to recite her work, and that's her medium. Entonces, a su disposición, compañera.
Las Kamati de Sosomo, Páquino Yorlo y Kaonechnoske y Canoiski Mariquisto Nochochitlactol y Pamintequit Yamejuame Menchichigua y Totlastolwan Achtopa. Muchas gracias, Tesosomo. Mi agradecimiento a ti y a todos los organizadores de este evento Primeras Voces. Gracias por invitarme a compartir mi poesía náhuatl de Guerrero, México, para Estados Unidos, para nuestro querido México y para todo el mundo. Y saludo desde mi corazón a todos y a todas las amigas que nos están viendo, nos están escuchando. Y peguas, y caín xochitlactol, y toca síhuatl. Empezaré con un poema que he escrito para todas las mujeres del mundo y que se llama Mujer. Ixpatlán Iziguatl, Ixpatlán, Ilhuicat Michixtica, Ixtlesco, Ixtoyahuanochi Mopaquilis, Ixpatlani, Ixmotlaquenti y Camosti, Ixtlacuica y Guantotome, Ixtemiltimoyel, Panicachimalxochime, Ixmotlapacho y Caitlahuil Citlalime, Iwan Ixpatlani, Ixpatlani, Ixpatlani. Ixmotlali tlajcometztli, Ixquintahtahtowili Citlalime, Icaón, Hualtetzitzimeh Totetzquilis, Ixquintlahtlanili, Icamacasa, Oniatlahueli. Ixtehtemo, Ontlahuelajacat, Icamacasa, Quintzayana, Xochimeh. Tehua, Ixtlacuica, Iguan Totome. Iwan Oxepa, Ixpatlani, Iwan Papalome, Iwan Ixhuahla, Oxepa, Ixtocaqui, Xochimeh, Temictli, Ipantlaltipatli. Vuela, mujer, vuela. El cielo te está esperando. Sube y derrama toda tu alegría. Vuela y vístete de nubes. Canta con los pájaros. Llena tu pecho de girasoles. Cúbrete con la luz de las estrellas y vuela, vuela, vuela. Siéntate en medio de la luna, platícales a las estrellas de nuestros hermosos sueños. Pídeles que no haya guerras. Busca ese veloz viento para que ya no rompa las flores. Tú canta con los pájaros y de nuevo vuela con las mariposas y vuelve otra vez y siembra flores y sueños en la tierra.
Woman, fly, woman, fly. The sky is waiting for you. Rise and spread your joy, fly and dress in clouds. Sing with the birds, fill your chest with sunflowers, cover yourself with the light of the stars, and fly, fly, fly. Sit on the moon, talk with the stars about our beautiful dreams, ask them not to war anymore. Look for that fierce wind so it doesn't break the flowers. You sing with the birds and again fly with butterflies. Return again to the plant, to planting flowers and dreams on the earth.
Aman, Nikistos, Oxish, Oxexochitlasto, Litoca, Ixcasi, Noyoslo, Icanochime, Tlacame, y Pampaín, Semanago. Y este otro poema que se llama Toma mi corazón, para todos nuestros guerreros ancestrales y también para todos los hombres del mundo. Notzopelikyolo Ixcasi, Ilhuicayao, Totome, Ixquintlacualti, Icaxochiponice, Noahmayolo Ixcasi, Citlalime Ixcuica, Icamillequescuicame, Ipantla, Lillescose, Quencuican, Yashnesi no Yoslo, Ixcasi, Icacualti, Xochime, Ixtlapacho, Celi, Yoli, Ixtlatzalti, Icamuhuetquilis, Ixtexcuilla. No Ixpacyolo, Ixcasi, Ixampili, Ixlapacho, Icamocospi, Magua, Oxetlaltipaxacan, no coyolyolo, ishkasi, tonali, tlahuili, iguan tlasecuayo, ilhuit, iguan ixchihua, ixcaman, nechili. Toma mi dulce corazón, guerrero celeste, con él alimenta a las aves para que nazcan las flores. Toma mi triste corazón y llévalo a las estrellas para que 1000 cantares lleguen en son a la tierra. Toma mi sublime corazón y cúbrelo con rosas bellas. Despiértalo sutil, suavemente y envuélvelo en una sonrisa. Toma mi desdichado corazón, príncipe de mi pasado, abrígalo en tus fuertes brazos y huye con él a otro mundo. Toma mi cascabelero corazón, sombra y luz de mis días, y haz con él una fiesta, y haz con él una fiesta, aunque a mí jamás me lo digas.
Take my heart, take my sweetheart, celestial warrior, and with it feed the birds so that the flowers will spring. Take my saddened heart and take to the stars so 1,000 songs will be heard upon the earth. Take my sublime heart and cover it with beautiful roses. Wake it subtly and gently and wrap it in a smile. Take my unhappy heart, prince of my past, and shroud it in your strong embrace and flee with it to the other world. Take my rattling heart, shadow and light of my days, make it a festival, even if you don't ever tell me.
Bien, y para cerrar este espacio poético, un poema que escribí para toda la humanidad y que se llama Ixnenapalo, Abrázame. Sanyoli Ixcon Ixnechnapalo, Maquisa Moseligio y Pagumaguan, Iguan Motlazo, Yan Ixnesi, Iguan Moseliclatol, y Panteoxochillo, Nechtapacho. Y Camoseliscayo, Sanyeja Ixcon, Ixnechnapalo, Maca Ixnotelti, Ixtoca Itzotzonal, Noyoblo, Ixmihyoti, Teoahuillac, Teyolitia, Itzacua, Acuyahli. Y Guantian Ixnesi, Sanyeja Ixcon, Ixnechnapalo. Y Cayan Ixnesi, Yancualtzin, Ixtixayanase. Gensitlalime, Ixquicopinque, y Panyecualxocaltzin. Genokistescach, y Panhuellas. Maca Ixnotlasihuiti, Maca Ixnomocti, Ihkon Ishnech Napalo. Ikaistak Xochime Istemilti Notlacayo. Ixtlali Moteyolitia Iguanecua Iguamonapalohuistli. Ixtlali Yolo Itech Teoxochillo. Maca Ixpolo Cuatlicawit. Ihkom Ixnech Napalo. Ixnechhuica Teoxochillo. Ipamocó Maguan. Icamocualtzin Huesquilis. Ixyoleguan Noxochitactol. Icase Napalohuistli. Que guanochi yacuali. Abrázame así, muy lentamente, que de tus brazos emane la ternura y tu voz tierna como caricia furtiva me envuelva en un paraíso mágico. Abrázame así, con ternura inusitada, y sigue el ritmo de mi corazón sin pausa. Aspira la esencia del perfume divino que brota del perfume de mi alma. Abrázame así, de forma tan tenue, para no romper el encanto silencioso de la noche de grillos, dibujada de estrellas, como espejo salido de la bella mar. Abrázame así, sin prisa, sin temor, y unge mi cuerpo con jazmines blancos, y en tu abrazo hunde tu alma con la mía y acerca el corazón al jardín de los dioses. Abrázame así, sin perder la calma. Transpórtame al Edén con tus brazos fuertes. Inspira mi poema con tu sonrisa bella, porque un abrazo encierra magia eterna.
Hold me like this, very slowly, so tenderness emanates from your embrace. Your voice, like a furtive caress, envelops me in a magical paradise. Embrace me with unusual tenderness and follow the rhythm of my unstoppable heart. Inhale my divine essence that encloses the perfume of my soul. Embrace me very tenuously, as not to break the silent enchantment of the night of crickets. Draw the stars like a mirror pulled from the sea. Embrace me without urgency, without fear. Anoint my body with white jasmines in your embrace. Fuse your soul with mine. Pull the heart to the garden of the gods. Embrace me without losing patience. Transport me to Eden in your strong embrace. Inspire my poem with your smile, because an embrace encloses eternal magic.
Tlazocamati, gracias.
Thank you, muchas gracias.
Desde Guerrero, México, la poesía náhuatl para todo el mundo.
From the mountain of Guerrero, the Nahuatl poetry for the whole world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Tlaxocamatis y Huacuacualtzin.
Oh. Tlaxocamati, nochimes, mejuame, no yolo, y pampa, nochimes, mejuame, yan ama, nican, otechcaque. Tlaxocamati.
Tlaxocamati.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Gracias.
Gracias, Yolanda.
Gracias a todos ustedes.
Wow, that was something else. I didn't, we started out with this little tiny dream and we said, yeah, let's try something different, something that we haven't done. And, I'm really happy to have Tyrone and to have Yolanda come. And man, this is the beauty of, like, what do they say? Every language constitutes another reality. And the more realities that we have, the better we're at it. And I'm so, very proud to have participated in this show and to have the privilege of translating the maestra's work is very impressive. Thank you.
So people want to ask, how can we find her work and read it? And
Yeah, I'll post her Facebook link. Yo voy a poner el link de su Facebook aquí para que la gente la siga a usted, ¿ok?
Beautiful. Yeah, I think she's already muted. All right, there we go.
I got a question.
Yes.
Were you playing the music or was she playing the music?
No, she had folks in her room playing music.
Is she still there? 'Cause I'm wondering, because she's blind, does the music give her a feeling of where she's at as she performs? What does it add to her performing?
Yolanda, ¿nos puede escuchar?
Sí, claro que sí, los estoy escuchando.
Mire, el don aquí, el señor McKnight, Phil Curtis, quería hacerle una pregunta.
Adelante.
Si él quería saber si la música le ayuda a usted a darse cuenta dónde está en su poesía.
La música es parte del acompañamiento de mi poesía, porque decían nuestros abuelos ancestrales que en nuestro mundo antiguo la poesía se acompañaba por la música, el movimiento y los sonidos.
Okay, so she's saying that from their ancestral teachings, the poetry was always accompanied with music and also with physical movement. So it's kind of part of the tradition that they've been handed down. Él estaba interesando, como usted no puede ver ya, si usaba la música para referencia o era nomás, todo era parte de lo que hacía antes usted completamente.
Sí, es parte de todo el trabajo poético porque me gusta transportarme al tiempo ancestral con la poesía y la música. Eso es.
Muy bien, gracias. Anybody else have any other questions? Okay,
No,
gracias.
I mean, that was on point, but did she have to, since she went blind, did she have to touch that part of her culture again in order to memorize, in order to feel where she was going? Because see, when I, a lot of times when I perform, I move a lot, and the audience lets me know what direction I need to go for the words before I get to the stage or something like that.
Okay. Sí, el compañero sigue preguntando que si después de que ya no podía ver, desarrolló más el tema de la música y el movimiento, o era siempre constante ese desarrollo.
Sí, después de que perdí la vista, empecé a desarrollar junto con la poesía el movimiento, pero desde cuando veía sí me ha encantado pues representar mi propia poesía con movimiento, pero sí ahora es más porque el ritmo de la poesía junto con la música mueven mi cuerpo. Entonces todo lo hago como un conjunto.
Muy bien. Yeah, she says that after she went blind, she started to develop the rhythm and the music and the body movement a lot more, and that she says it helps her to make it a more of a totality as a performance.
That's what's up. I
Gracias.
like that.
Gracias, thank you. Las Ocamati.
Gracias, Kamati. Y ya puse el link de su Facebook aquí para que la gente la pueda seguir a usted.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias a usted. Okay, Richie, take it away.
Oh man, that was beautiful. What a segment. And you know, the beautiful thing is you can go back. This is going to be on our YouTube channel, so you can go back and listen to everyone who's performed so far, Tyrone and Lee, and we got so many more people too. You can go back and listen to the inner exchanges. I love the live Q&A. That was really cool. Thank you, Mr. Tesosomok, for also facilitating this and making this happen. So let's give you some love as well. Can unmute and all that. So okay, all right, we're gonna keep going because we got more peeps, and I put the list on the chat for you guys. I'll write it again, but we're gonna go ahead and change it up. We're gonna get some music. Christine Ponce Diaz is up next, and she always I think this will be perfect. And then we got some more poetry as well. So stay tight, guys. Thank you for joining us. Christine, welcome back to our Monday night open mic. Always a pleasure.
Hi, Richie. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Hi.
Applause, applause.
Muchísimas gracias, Yolanda, por sus hermosas palabras. De todo corazón, muchas gracias. The song that I'll be singing today is Amor Eterno.
Yeah.
And it was written by Juan Gabriel for Rocío Dúrcal.
Yeah.
So for her situation with her son.
Rocket.
Muy bien. Pues realmente se alegra mi alma porque nosotros escribimos la poesía. Exactamente, esta poesía va de la mano del universo, porque en el universo encontramos el amor junto con la naturaleza. Me alegra en verdad que esta poesía náhuatl, español de Guerrero, México, haya llegado a sus corazones y a sus almas. Y desde este espacio de ustedes quiero saludar a mis amigas, a Erika Ibón, a Yesenia, a mis amigos, Oscar Luna, Ignacio de la Garza, mis acompañantes musicales, Gustavo García, Roberto Matías García, a toda la gente bellísima que esta noche pues está llenando con la poesía, está llenando su alma y está vibrando. Y a ustedes les agradezco. Melagua, Nemestlaciokamati, Memochimes, Mejuan.
Taskamati.
Tú eres la tristeza de mis ojos,
Yeah.
Come on. Oh,
So,
my tears are not dry right now.
Yeah, man.
My
I gotta
eyes are not
wipe
dry.
this down, man. Oh.
Do you oh, beautiful. What I love that you submitted that too for that contest. You know what? That the fact that you're able to share it with all of us, we're all winners, especially you for that composition there. Do you have anything else?
No, that's all for today. Thank you so much.
No. Okay. All right.
Thank
So tell us about your YouTube channel, how we could support your art.
YouTube, Christine Ponce Diaz, or Facebook at also Christine Ponce Diaz.
Awesome. Thank you. Hold on. Got cream. All right. So I'm glad I have some of this right now. Yeah, cheers everyone. If you got it. Bam. Yeah, where's the tissues at? Okay. Thank you, Christine. Freaking beautiful. Follow her. Check out the YouTube channel. And yeah, it's always a treat whenever you make it on as well. I'm always excited to hear you guys. We have another first timer up here. He's a published author. He's out of El Paso, Texas. We have Philip Lee in the house. That's right. We have another Philip. We got Midnight, but we also got Lee. What's up, Philip? How are you doing today?
Great to be here. Thank you so much. It's great to
welcome.
Thank you so much. Tonight, I'm going to read a piece called Hurricane Fuego. It was published in my book earlier this year in 2020. I'll be reading it in English and Spanish. Lo que voy a contarles esta noche es un cuento que se llama Hurricane Fuego. Estaba publicado en mi primer libro este año en el 2020, pero mi español no es a 100, entonces les pido mucha gracia, por favor. Primeramente voy a leerlo en inglés, ¿sí? Ahí va. In the fireplace, flames danced upon a few logs that were unevenly stacked in the center. The yellowish glowing heat penetrated the room, while snow fell from the gray sky. The heat from the fire radiated a soothing warmth that comforted, even though it slightly stung. The strong wind outside blew across the chimney as it caused the fire to quickly strengthen before it resumed a slow pace. Like a giant tidal wave in the ocean, the strength of the fire briefly blasted heat through the room and abruptly subsided to the power of a splash of water in a cup. Although the winds outside were strong enough to bend the limbs of the pine, the force of the warmth inside the cabin was barely enough to move leaves. Blankets covering the couch absorbed the immense heat as pillows nearby basked in the warmth of the fireplace. Ahora sí en español. Excuse me a second. Somebody's talking a little bit too loud in the background. Give me a second, guys. En la chimenea, las llamas balearon sobre unos pocos troncos que estaban apilados de manera desigual en el centro. El color del resplandor amarillento penetró en la prisión mientras la nieve cae del cielo gris. El color del fuego irradiaba un color reconfortante que reconfortaba a pesar de que la picaba un poquito. El fuerte viento exterior sopló a través de la chimenea y provocó que el fuego se fortaleciera rápidamente antes de rellenar a un ritmo lento. Como un maremoto gigante en el océano, la fuerza del fuego lanzó brevemente el calor a través de la presión y se redujo abruptamente al poder de un chorro de agua en una taza. Aunque los vientos de exterior eran lo suficiente fuertes como para doblar las ramas del pino, la fuerza de calor dentro de la cabana apenas era suficiente para mover las hojas. Las mantas que cubrieron la sofa absorbieron el inmenso calor mientras las hamaras cercanas se derritieron con el calor de la chimenea. Right now, I'll post a link to my Facebook page as well as my website. Once again, I really appreciate the opportunity to have been here with you guys to read Hurricane Fuego. I hope you like my work, and I can't wait to see your comments. Thank you so much.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Philip. That was really cool, man. Yeah, share those links for sure. We'll get them on YouTube as well. But and thanks for the tour. That was really cool. All right, and much love to Erica Conrad's Fire. I had to dip out a little. Awesome poet. She's gonna be a guest host in a couple of weeks, so stay tuned for that. All right, so we'll share that in a bit. All right, let's keep going. Yo, we got another one of our fireball spitters. We have Nico Kim joining us from McHenry, Illinois. Nico Kim, how you doing today, man, brother? How
Hey,
you
guys.
feeling?
What's up? So I wanted to start this by saying last week I had to read Longfellow's story of Hiawatha, or the Song of Hiawatha. And speaking of decolonizing poetry, that was like the most colonizing poem I've ever read in my life. And I was trying to create a response poem to it for this week. However, I didn't find that font of inspiration to draw from. So with that, I just wanted to share a poem that I wrote a while ago, edited a little bit, and yeah, let's give it a go. I'm somewhere between a punny pontiff and a pusillanimous pugilist. Not new to this rhetorical platform, I'll perform an act for the ages, one to turn pages and heads, or at least get them rocking, and sometimes nodding. And not nodding off in a haze of boredom, but I'll allure them and get them nodding in agreement. My words aren't always made for appeasement, though. Every poem, a paper cut given, for the soul is driven to bleed from the heartstrings being pulled. Each being cold to their own suffering can give advice or smile to those who share in their ills. And personally, I'll pile other senseless regurgitated bile high enough to point out the knowledge should be self-sufficing. Not the icing on the cake, but the pricing of the rake or tool. Each word used by a genius or fool never loses its rhetorical value. Connotation is malleable, and humans are fallible, so the one that makes something valuable is oneself. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Just remember, when you have things to get done, the almost disrespectful idiom that honey attracts more flies than vinegar. Just don't be sinister in where you got the honey or why you use it. It takes true grit to provide open palms in lieu of loose fits. If the shoe fits, rock it. If it's for someone else, don't knock it. To put one's ego in a locket and lock it up is a God's honest, tough task to do. But it's nothing new. One doesn't just shrug off consideration, but we've built into this nation by being advocates of melioristic fairness, careless with our hubris and fearless because of a Western God and the shitty mindset that none can come near us. So it is up to us as Americans to decide what philosophies mean. I'll scream at those who say life isn't fair because I disagree wholeheartedly. Nature and chaos isn't fair, but humanity can be. It's why it's called civilization. Thank you. So I didn't share this poem ever, so I'm just gonna share this one. The intent was to find like poetry that fits the theme, but I'm I'm upset that I didn't write the poem that I wanted to write for this week. I'm not. Nope. All right, so my sentiments to those desensitized by sentient spray tan. Hey man, teach their own. Here on out, my mouth won't mutter hate. I'll just purse my lips at the rage, staging and reframing my mindset to digest the daily delusion. Distractions aren't illusions. They're just a way to elude away from the point. Thank you, guys.
All right. Hey, Nico. Awesome, man. Glad you made it today. And you know what? Hey, man, if you didn't write it today, just, share it next week or the week after that, whenever you're ready.
If it ever comes to me, it will probably be a paper that I write, a academic paper that I'll write about how much I do not like Longfellow, or how deeply ingrained his writing colonized poetry. And so just very quick, Hiawatha is supposed to be Nana Buju, which is like the Great Spirit, and he just completely whitewashes Ojibwe mythos, and then turns it into a play to share it to the Ojibwe. And it's like, hey, your guys' interpretation of gods is shit. Check out mine, way better. And thus was how we as Americans have treated the indigenous people of this country.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yikes. Mm-hmm. And Longfellow is the wrong fellow. Yeah. Thanks for that note, man. Okay. Hey, we got our Mr. Monday Night up next.
That sounded like a looper start.
Oh, right. I'll get that fixed for the end of the show. But
I'm saying that's a Richie poem coming together right there.
Right, it'll be a collab piece. Yeah, sometimes I'll improvise that stuff. But let's see. Yeah, we got a couple more people. Well, not a couple. We got several more people left. I wanna make sure they get on. And so I alluded right now, our MVP in many ways, Mr. Monday Night. We got Kit Wren up next. Kit.
Thank you, Richie.
Yeah,
thank you.
Gave you the new title tonight.
Mr. Yeah, man, like Rob Van Dam. That's really cool. Jesus. Tonight's been so good. Tonight's been a real privilege to be a part of, and it's been so amazing. And I'm sorry to tell you it's all downhill from here. But I'm going to do two of mine, and then not quite a cover poem, but a cover something. But this first one doesn't have a title. That's because it's new shit.
New shit.
Yes, we're keeping the flame alive here at the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series. My mom and I are in the same field, and we arrived independently at the same heroes. She rushes over one morning to tell me that Carolyn Forche just accepted her friend request. I'm in the grocery store that afternoon, and she texts me to say that Carolyn just liked the post. First name basis, just like that. I don't mean to make fun. This is genuinely exciting to me. Despite its silly 21st century scene markers, I think if this moment were fuel, it would burn cleanly and brightly. It is just as well that memories are not fuel, and that we cannot, in moments of panic and shortfall, attach thermite to our mountainous lobes and blow through, taking only the moments we want. It is just as well that Carolyn Forche, walking through a supermarket, debating between two brands of cornmeal, cannot choose when she sees ears unattached to bodies, and cannot choose when they perk up or what they hear.
Yeah.
So, yes. And then another much older one, but it's fun. It's The Tale of the Bloody Record. In Ceausescu's Romania, 1 in 3 citizens was a government spy. So If you lived in Cluj and kept to yourself, never really talked to the neighbors much, the math was not on your side. Think of how many neighborly disputes turned with alacrity into state-sanctioned murder. Loud music at all hours. Loud Western music, you mean? Yes. A young man named Yuan achieved a peaceful silence in this way, and 2 days later, he picked through the empty apartment for something to sell on the black market. Nothing of much value, but he was taken with a record. Possibly the same record that set this into motion. H to He and the Only One by Van der Graaf Generator. Yuan is feeling a bit smug and bulletproof and decides to give it a spin. A violent silence was imposed on Yuan 2 weeks later. The Van der Graaf Generator record makes its way from Cluj to Unare to Bucharest and eventually to Kiev, to Kharkiv, to Odessa, as far as Krakow to the north and Sofia to the south, leaving nothing but military tribunals in its wake. Eastern European progressive rock fans were decimated, struck down so completely it was as though it were a harvest. Now, the trail of the bloody record loses its connection to the Second World War, to the Second World, different thing, to the Second World during the Panjshir offensives in the 80s. Perhaps it was being weaponized. Not much research had gone into this idea, at least not much recorded research. The Soviets wouldn't have been the first army to throw something crazy at the wall and worry about laboratory testing at a less urgent date. This all might seem fantastic, hard to believe, bordering on the impossible. But if you believe nothing else that I tell you, believe this. You may remember from 2011 the accounts of Osama bin Laden's lair, the accounts of the pornographic magazines and DVDs, the unreasonable supplies of Nestle chocolate, the refusal of the man who declared unconditional cultural war on the West to pick a side between Coke and Pepsi. But you do not remember this? Because you were never told this. Because there is no explanation for what SEAL Team 6 found when they burst into a barricaded room and saw a terrorist mastermind sitting in a beanbag chair wearing square headphones connected to a dusty turntable by a coiled wire, which would have resembled a telephone wire if there was such a thing in 2011. Rocking out, as it were. Spinning on that turntable was H to He and the Only One, the third studio album by British progressive rock band Van der Graaf Generator. What survives a war? We don't know. We don't get to pick. We're lucky if we even notice.
Yeah.
And to try and mark the occasion of Indigenous Peoples Day, for the cover poem, which, if you're new here, I like to read other people's work as a cover live. It's musicians do it all the time. I think poets should have the same rights of territory. But I don't have a poem for my cover. I am going to read a little bit, not a whole chapter, just a little bit from one of my very favorite books, Almanac of the Dead by Leslie Marmon Silko.
Yes.
It is War and Peace for the American Southwest. It is written in fire on granite, and you all should read it. And I'm going to read a little bit of it to you to make you, so you can just fucking read it, kid. Shut up. Mistaken identity. Of course, the real man they called Geronimo, they never did catch. The real Geronimo got away, old Mahawala said late one night when Calabasas was half asleep. Although the small cook fire at their feet had died down to a few coals and there was no moon, he could still see the faces of these old timers well enough in the light of the stars and the wide luminous belt of the Milky Way. High in the mountains, the old ones claimed they were that much closer to the clouds and the winds. They claimed people of the mountain peaks got special attention from the planets and the moon. Calabasas had looked at each face, trying to determine in an instant if this was a joke or not. Because if it was a joke and he appeared to take it seriously, they would have him. And if it wasn't a joke and he laughed, they would have him too. But when Calabasas realized the old ones were serious about this Geronimo story, he had given in. Old Mahawala started out, and then the others, one by one, had contributed some detail or opinion or alternative version. The story they told did not run in a line for the horizon, but circled and spiraled instead like the red-tailed hawk. Geronimo, of course, was the war cry Mexican soldiers made as they rode into battle, counting on help from St. Jerome. The US soldiers had misunderstood just as they had misunderstood just about everything else they had found in this land. In time, there came to be at least 4 Apache raiders who were called by the name Geronimo, either by the Mexican soldiers or the gringos. The tribal people here were all very aware that the whites put great store in names. But once the whites had a name for a thing, they seemed unable ever again to recognize the thing itself. The elders used to argue that this was one of the most dangerous qualities of the Europeans. Europeans suffered a sort of blindness to the world. To them, a rock was just a rock wherever they found it, despite obvious differences in shape, density, color, or the position of the rock relative to all things around it. The Europeans, whether they spoke Spanish or English, could often be heard complaining in frightened tones that the hills and canyons looked the same to them, and they could not remember if the dark volcanic hills in the distance were the same dark hills they'd marched past hours earlier. To whites, all Apache warriors looked alike, and no one realized that for a while. There had been 3 different Apache warriors called Geronimo, who ranged across the Sonoran Desert south of Tucson. Strategists for both the Yaquis and the Apaches quickly learned to make use of the Europeans' inability to perceive unique details in the landscape. Although the Indians hired as scouts by the white armies were not so easily fooled, still in the confusion of the white officers and their arguments with the scouts, time and again gave the Apache and Yaqui women and children opportunities to escape their pursuers. The trick was to lead the chase to rocky terrain cut by narrow, deep arroyos. The longer the soldiers rode up and down the steep terrain, the more exhausted and afraid they became. So the Apache warrior called Geronimo had been 3, even 4 different men. The warrior of prominence and also of controversy among other Apaches had been born in the high mountains above the river now called Gila. This man had not been a warrior, but had been trained as a medicine man. As the wars with the Americanos and Mexicans had intensified, and the ranks of the warriors wanted men, the medicine man had begun riding with them on the raids. His specialty had been silence and occasionally invisibility. With his special skills, the raiders had been able to move so silently, not even the Apache scouts who worked for the US cavalry had been able to hear the raiders walk past their bedrolls. I feel like that's time, so I'll cut it there.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
Leslie Marmon Silko, legit. That's a great choice. You know, there's such a proponent of storytelling. You know, we're nothing without our stories, and so if you have a chance, check out more of their writing. Kit, thank you. How can we check out more of your writing, more of your stuff?
Okay, sing along if you know the words. Instagram at Kit Renaway, my name and then away. Twitter at Kit Talk Sports. As the name suggests, it's very sports centric, but I sneak a little bit of literary shit where I can. Look me up on the Facebook. I'm easy to recognize. And Goodreads, same deal. I post reviews of things basically as soon as I finish them. And see me here next week, because I'm here every week, because this has been such a lifeline in these weird and strange times. And I'm thankful beyond words for this venue and what it's exposed me to, especially today. This has been a great day, and thank you very much, Richie.
Yes, sir. I'm all about that. It's been something else. I promote this a lot, and there's a lot of people who kind of like online open mics. I don't know, but unless you try it, and if you know, you know. If not, like it's just this thing. But it's cool to have that. So thank you, Kit. Thanks to everyone who's performed. We got a couple more peeps. In fact, if you're here right now in this call, I see some names. If you want to read something or share something, just let me know. If you didn't sign up but you still want to read, just type something there in the chat. Like, I want to read this, some poetry, fiction, whatever, an essay, freestyle. Maybe we haven't had any dancers yet. Like, show us your best dance moves. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna keep going on. Next up, we have a rookie. Last week was his very first time here at the Stay at Home open mic. There it is, right there. Stay at Home open mic. He read at an APCC reading, and he's a rookie, but he's got notebooks full of writing, and that's all of us, right? So let's go ahead and make some noise and welcome. Next up, Gabriel Hernandez.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you guys. All right. So first, like, I want to thank everybody. I think when we read, we share like part of our soul or something that wants to come out for whatever reason. And I want to share with you with this. I want to share this with you guys. This is my spot. Like, this is where I come out and I see stuff. I'll be playing, guitar, and then for whatever reason, I'll hit a key or a tone, and then I get the stuff in my mind, and for whatever reason it wants to come out. There's something, I don't know, you meditate or whatever, or I don't know what it is, but something like I never plan out to write anything. I never like sit down or say like I want to write this. Like, it just happens. If I try to sit and write, nothing's gonna come out. It's just gonna be like whatever. So again, this is one of the good stories that I've seen, or that's for whatever reason it's there, and I don't know. I'm gonna see. I don't know. So I guess I'll start, and if I go too long, cut me. I try to go fast and not speak so much.
Do you, man? Do you?
All right. So this is called The Joke. Well, this is a joke, I'm trying to get into comedy, so bear with me, okay? So this is how it starts. Sitting on a beach, enjoying the summer heat, feeling the warm ocean breeze running all over me. Sun rays bathing from above, and me sitting like a rock. I see a dark ocean blue that meets a light sky blue, both feeling blue. Far away, I see a step. And I see what's to come. It's a beautiful disease that wants it all. I can't look away until it consumes it all. No more summer breeze, only violent winds, injecting its violence into peaceful waves. The calm and peace, only violence cease. And now the waves war like armies in a never-ending war. War drums sound in the sky, warning of what's to come. Drums so loud, you hear no more, only what's above. The blue sky begins to weep. The dark clouds cover it all. Thunder and rain fall like tears of a broken heart. So strong, they shower the ocean floor. So strong, drops hit like needles. Needles warning of what's to come. Another step. I see violence and chaos. Chaos is what's to come. And in front of it all, she stands. No more steps to take. Beautiful long blonde curls dance in hurricane winds, apathetic to the storm that's behind. Sorry. Excuse me. My mouth was super dry. A beautiful long blonde curls dancing in hurricane winds, apathetic to the storm that's behind. Bruised, soft, pale skin, battered by time and repetition. She looks at me with deep blue ocean eyes that try to smile. Beautiful red lips, red as the blood of endless wars, blood that feels like home. She stands and smiles, a smile that hides nights of thunder and lament. She lifts inviting arms that offer little shelter from the storm. I see her. I hear the drums louder, deafening. She speaks and I hear, just go with it. And I think to myself, just go with it. She's just sick, just go with it. I try to see into her eyes, they try to smile. She stands as the gatekeeper of chaos, as the guardian of the storm. Just go with it. I look in fear, her sad smiles, her sad smile. Just go with it. A hopeful smile. The scent of jasmine begins to fill my nose. I turn to see, and I see it all. A blue, gentle sky with marshmallow clouds. An ocean of soft green grass that invites to lay. Scattered green trees that offer shelter from the rising sun, offering rest from what has come. And I think again, she said, just go with it. I turn, she sees me, I turn. Now she sees my back. I smell the green. I take in the sweet jasmine. My skin rests from the piercing raindrops. I feel calm, peace, serenity. I raise my arms to invite it all. Her sad smile fades, her arms fall. A storm quiets. Only a dresser remains, but still dark covers it all. Her broken heart long has been. I think again the words she said, just go with it. I look again, I see the green, I smell the sweet, I feel the warmth, joy, peace, serenity. My arms wide open to it all. My eyes wide, see it all. The storm begins to fade. Only she remains and nothing more. Just go with it, she said. Just go with it. Staring at the calm green fields, I let it all go. No doubt, no question, only certainty. I close my eyes and I begin to fall. No fear for what I lost, only the fall. Behind me, the storm rages again, now like never before. I feel it all, and I continue to fall with my eyes closed and no fear for what I lost. I scream, she hears, trust fall. Get it? I was falling back and she thought I was gonna leave her, but I was like,
I love that was the most poetic comedy I've ever heard, man. Where the
Yeah, man.
punchline was right at the end. Trust fall.
yeah, it's
Cool.
getting there. It's getting there.
Gabriel, thank you, man. I'm glad you can tune in and join us now. Every Monday. See you next Monday.
Yes, sir.
We got some cool stuff planned for October. I got some features planned for next week. I still got to hit them up, but hopefully they're down. And if they are, that's gonna be cool. Erica Canada's Fire is gonna guest host. And but do you have anything that we can follow you on or support your work so far?
No, just here.
Just here. All right, cool, man. Just be. That's kind of one of the most important things we can do is just be. Appreciate
sir.
you, Gabriel. Thank you for sharing your special spot and your words. Just go with it. Just go with it. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Okay. Hey, we gotta hopefully I hope she's here. We got a special guest. Is Shanta here? Shanta Jones? I gotta see if you're here because there's a couple names here that might be you. Is it LG Style 5? Is that you? Where's Shanta? Let's see. Is that you? Okay, I think that might be you. You have to unmute yourself, okay? So
On mute. Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hey, so really quick, you're Amanda's sister?
Listen. Oh my God. First of all, good morning to everybody. Everybody, good morning. This is like a monumental thing for me right now. Okay. Yes, I'm Amanda's older sister. Yes.
Beautiful. You know what? Just do your thing. We want to hear your words. Go for it. Go for it.
Do it.
Okay. Are you listening or do you just hear me? My heart bleeds like the biblical woman with the bleeding issue of 12 agonizing years. All four chambers of my heart, the left ventricle, the right ventricle, and the aorta, have all reached their maximum capacity for my incalculable trials and tribulations. Are you listening? The fear of failure has gripped me with Herculean strength, and it's expeditiously draining my will, my love, my passion, my relentlessness. Do you hear me? The scars are so deep that its magnitude is incomprehensible by mere mortals. The tsunami tear shedding by no means will cease. The monumental disappointments, the immeasurable betrayals, the bile of abandonment that burns my innermost being, the hypocrisy, the feigned happiness, hopelessness, homo sapiens, heightened fear, homesick, heartsick. Being intrepid is obsolete. Happy days out here again. Help. Is anybody listening? Will you continue to hear me until my existence on the earthly realms becomes like the dinosaurs, extinct or non-existent? Thank you.
Yeah. Dope. Shanta, you did it. You made that. Your first public poetry reading.
Isn't that something? I can't believe it.
How'd you feel?
Oh my God. I felt free. Like I told my sister she had to convince me. She was like, you could do it. I was like, this is not poetry. These are my thoughts, my intimate thoughts. She was like, yes, it is. The world needs to hear it. I say, no, the world doesn't. I don't know.
That was great. Do you have anything else really quick?
No, I don't want to read that. Well, maybe. I guess she told me to share.
Okay. Amanda, yeah, she spoke so highly of you, and to
did
see,
she?
She did. She's like, she's amazing. Everyone's got to hear her, and we miss Amanda. By the so I'm talking about Amanda Wilson. Everyone, she's one of our peeps, and
yes, she is.
She spoke so highly of you. So
did she? Did I meet or exceed her expectations?
I'm sure you did. You met them. We do miss Amanda, but it's you got to get her back on too. Okay, at some point, but.
Listen,
I'm glad you did this your first time. Your first time, you did it.
I think it's gonna be my last time because I'm really like shy, and I pray to God like no one I really know like sees me. Like this is not. Oh my God. Whew. I think she's on here. Is my sister on here?
She's listening through YouTube.
On YouTube, yeah.
Amanda, I know you can hear me. Thank y'all for having me. I'm honored. Everybody did an incredible job. Hopefully, I'll open up more. Okay. And I do appreciate you guys for having me. And it's been an extreme pleasure.
We appreciate you testing your voice out at this open mic.
You are always welcome here. You're always welcome here. Okay.
Thank you. Somebody said come back.
Yeah. Come through. Okay. Every Monday, come through.
Okay. Thank you.
It's therapy for a lot of us. It's a sounding board. It's just to try new things,
Yes, it is. Because my heart bleeds. So we have to let that flow, just flow right onto the pad. We really do. It's definitely a positive coping mechanism.
There you go. We hope, many of us do hope you come back. So thank you so much, Shanta.
Thank you. You're very welcome. My pleasure.
All right, cool. Enjoy the rest of the show. And Amanda,
thank you.
We see you on YouTube. We hope to see you again as well pretty soon. Amanda, whenever you're ready, we'll be here for you. Okay. Hey, so really quick, Tyrone, just, hey, I think you got some words you want to share really quick. Let's welcome Tyrone back up.
Hello. Yeah, I just wanted to share that I've been writing for 10 years. And when I went to Eastern is when I first started sharing poetry publicly. And because I always wanted to be the organizer behind the scenes. And then my friend knew that I wrote poetry for personal reasons. And then so like when we got the schedule together and she's like, well, what are you gonna say? And she kind of put me on the spot, like at the group meeting, and I was like, yeah, I guess. And so that's how my poetry started, was just getting encouraged because people wanted me to share it. And then I was hearing like, because we're at college and we had, a very fortunate place to be at that we didn't have, that our peers didn't have. And so also, because we modeled it after Denver, the AIM chapter of Denver, when they're doing the Abolish Columbus Day. And we seen Savage Family blow up on YouTube and Facebook in 2008. And so we just kind of followed what they did and like how they incorporated their culture and their voice. And that's kind of, we just took our area tribes and presented what we do with our life. And that's how my poetry started. But I seen one thing interesting on Facebook, and it's called Clink It Tattoo and Designed by Neon. And he states, he has a picture of them, and it states, permit free march to abolish Columbus Day in Seattle since 2008. Before the city claimed credit for the name change, there were many people moving with us who had to sleep outside, who were in recovery, who were detoxing while marching. Who will remember them? They thought of you and all risked their lives for you. But who will remember them? This is what mobilization looks like. And so kind of like reflecting on his words, we've seen this transition when I first started college, we seen like all this direct action, and it wasn't permit free. It wasn't asking, I guess, for permission to march. Everybody kind of just did it. And then since like even my short time, we see the transition of where a lot of people are creating NGOs, nonprofit organizations, and they're kind of speaking over people or outspeaking people and getting paid to show up and to present whatever they got going. But it's kind of disconnected from the people that, like what Nehan was describing, like where are people that started with it? Where are the people that was the front line that didn't get paid? Like how come, where's their stories? How come, where's their recognition? And like to see it grow from Abolish Columbus Day into what it is now, like it's so powerful and so graceful. There's beauty in it, but there's also voices where they're acknowledging the people that did it, that got arrested, that got brutalized. And so it's kind of like, I see the separation, but it's so hard to balance these things. Like, how do we do it without offending anybody, without triggering their emotions or their feelings because they're getting called out for being paid by an NGO? And how do we get into that space where it feels like there's a divide? And then so those are thoughts that run through my mind as I reflect on people celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day, and it kind of transitioned into where people are now saying we're Indigenous every day, but that wasn't who's out here saying we're not Indigenous. The subject was removing the maniac from history. It's not to belittle it or berate for the people that put so much effort without being paid, without getting the proper recognition. And then so it's kind of, one part is kind of loathing, and then another part it's creating this power that we didn't have before. And so sometimes I see it as, well, where's this going if we're not all at that table? And so, and other than that, I'm just glad to be able to present and to share my story. And it was empowering night to hear everybody else's stories. And I learned a lot tonight and appreciate the invite. And this was a great night. So thank you.
Yes, Tyrone, beautiful man, beautiful words.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you for coming through and sharing those. Let's invite everyone to the table. Let's got to keep mobilizing and building that up, right? And
You're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Yeah, it's been a special night. Thank you so much. Whew, man, I'm gonna sit with those words too tonight and for a good while. And let's see. I know. So I put this to like 11 p.m. Mountain Time. So let me do a quick roll call because we got a couple more people. There's some people here too. Should I do the roll call? Let's see. Phil, do you want to read anything really quick? I don't know. You don't have to. I know you're just here hanging and supporting. Phil does so much great stuff too, and I know you got your poetry stuff with 719. If you want to talk about that at least.
Okay, real quick. Monday is probably my most tired day of the week, man. Poetry 719 is an organization that I founded about 11, 12 years ago, I think. Anyway, every October we do a poetry fest. And so that'll be from the 21st to the 24th. The 21st will be a haiku and a slam contest. I'm hosting those. I'll have to put it out on IG as reminders because I can't remember. And then this Friday, Poetry 719 will be doing Black Lives Matter. We've been doing that for 3 years. Man, I can't think of anything else, but I'll put it on my IG and I'll send it out to everybody individually, whoever I can. Come join us. This Friday, the 3 people that run the organization is myself and Bees and Ash. The 3 of us will be featuring as we set up for next week for the Poetry Festival.
All right, man. Right on. And you should share that Instagram too, so we can hear that.
Oh, my Instagram is MidnightPoet00.
Go Midnight Poet 00. It's a lot of places to check out. Cool performances. Thank you, Phil. Yeah, Mondays. I know, man. You're so tired, but sometimes you stay with us, man. We do an after party and talk for a little while, and you're just there. Cool. Appreciate that, man. Let's see. So if you don't have anything tonight, we got a couple more people, and then we'll probably end the show. Thank you, Phil.
Hey, thank you back.
Awesome. Yeah. Show some love. Follow him on Instagram, Midnight Poet 00. And let's see. I just saw our friend Fire, aka Gregory Speed. Did you have anything you wanted to share tonight, or are you just tuning in? It's always good to hear from you. I saw you participating in the chat and listening in.
I'm just looking at y'all and listening to the wonderful sounds of these voices. Yeah, enjoying the vibe. You need a poem though?
I mean, if you got a quick one you want to share, we'd love to hear it, and then we'll start ending it up with Dan.
It sounds good. Yeah, I'll read one.
All right, cool. Go for it, man.
Find one on the devices with the poetry, but I recently got a new phone, and so it's a beautiful thing to get lost in trying to find the notepads. In response to irony, if you take a closer look at the American fine print, you will begin to see clearly all the cracks and disparities, backstabbings and betrayals, blame, bitterness, and resentment. A thin line between love and hate makes it harder to control the fate of the God-given people. To date, no one understands what it's like to be Black. Yet we patch wounds like soldiers, becoming walking catastrophes, reaching, searching, and seeking, leaking our moments of truth, seeking freedom just to liberate our ego in order to become a poet. Joy, laughter, and smiles galore around and through each of us. As the motherland shines, our dreams become reality. Down our limbs like honey, the sweet melanin is dripping. To this date, no one understands what it's like to be Black. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Gregory. Always like when you drop in, even just to listen. I'm like, but we're such fans that we're gonna have to ask, like, you got a poem, a little something. So thank you so much.
You're welcome, man. I appreciate you.
Awesome. Have a good night. So let's see. Yeah, shout out to everyone who's performed tonight. If whether it was your first time or you're returning, like always coming through. We're gonna go ahead and finish with one of our regulars as well. He would get a perfect attendance award if we were giving them out. We might. Who knows? We'll find out. But let's see. I think he's busy writing an epic birthday poem for Kit Ren. But right now, let's go and welcome Dan the Man.
Oh, you're lucky. Okay. Well, before I get to Kit, I have a birthday tribute to Callista Singley. Does everybody heard of a singer-songwriter from Las Cruces? She appeared sometimes at BWOM. She did an amazing performance, and yeah, you'll like her. Her songs was Beer for Breakfast. I think there's good songs she like, and Runaways, recent single. She's recently with Gonzalo y Limon. That's the band with Damian Luna, an amazing song. Well, an amazing band, and they got a new EP out this Friday. You guys do not want to miss it. So. All right, well, I'll explain about that on my next Dan the Man's Weekly, and also the birthday tribute to Callista on Friday. Okay, well, okay, don't worry, kid, I got yours. Okay, all right, and this is called Poetry to Callista Singley. So, all right, here it is. Sorry, okay. My friend Callista, last name starts with a word/sounds from the tunes given to her from the Treasure State, Montana, working the nouns for her tunes, teaching her was performing in the land of enchantment, that's New Mexico. A picture ski singer-songwriter with a mystical sound, astounding voice that holds the pop rock and blues that lots with her genres of choice and the trance of the electric guitar and indie by far. Why beer for breakfast? I like steak. Well, steaks and ham. I always thought beer was for lunch and dinner. Well, beer should be a breadwinner. If it's beer for breakfast, why not invite Beer Money Inc? Beer Money, like the wrestlers Cowboy James Storm and Bobby Roode. Yeah. Or why not serve it fast with steak, eggs, and Spam? Well, and according to Dr. Seuss, it's green eggs and ham, Sam I am. You know that? Anybody know of Dr. Seuss? Yeah. Nothing to fear, beer's here at the bar where she and her band, Gonzalo de Limon, are seeing, and yeah, we're seeing her on the stand performing an electric guitar. And according to OEM, how bizarre, beep, 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 how bizarre, how bizarre. You know the song. Yeah. And on time, we can enjoy the fresh tequila with salt and lemon, maybe lime, if it's on special for a dime. Her works and lyrics, like all songs, from nothing more to Runaway, but has motive, good going every day to every single performance. Other days, if it was Tuesdays, would be BWOM's, my hometown, or her town, or Open Mic Night, which is her town. Yep. Her lyrics, singing, writing, expressing, rhyming, like poetry, timing, more words to explore and follow the nostalgia of folklore, the remnants of waters, like every mountain, expressing the comings and goings, but less muggy, more condy, the neutral between positives and negatives of sentiments. And that's how mixing her singing and writing of coming and goings with her genre, playing the electric guitar, shooting the stars so far. And according to the lyrical verse of Prodigal Son by Bad Religion. And I quote, "Oh, can you feel the nostalgia? I wonder how you master Rantacrat Horatio Agar," end quote. Okay. Callista, my friend, your celestial performance, your acoustic and electric guitar has the folklore and nostalgia, and mixing your voice with the untamed wild, the nature from Montana to your performance in the desert mountains and dunes of New Mexico. That's how you do display the symmetry of your songs and writings through the compose and juxtapose the meadows of viewpoints and imagery, and like according to Sting, Desert Rose. You desert rose, yeah. Keep up on what you do best on your singing and songwriting and performing with your band, Con Sal y Limon, yeah, where you all stand and raise your hand and performing at the Enchanted Land. And according to REM, stand where the yeah, you know the song Stand? Yeah. See you later, Callista, rewarding your voice given from the treasure state, performing at choice, working at the land of enchantment. Hope all is well. End quote. Thank you. Okay. How is it? How is it?
I was giving you a thumbs up. You gotta look at the screen there.
So yeah, sorry, I was reading my, yeah. Thank you, Kit. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay, next one based on my, birthday poems on Facebook, and it is called Callista Adele. She is the Libra of the cardinal, the opal meaning comfort, grace, and loveliness, linking to the element air, and the calendula of the Asteraceae. It's because her birthday is on the 16th day of the 10th month in the year 1990, born and raised in Louisville, Montana. Yeah. From a thriving scholar to her successful rise to fame as a singer-songwriter, and one third of the band called Con Sal y Limon, she embodies a woman full of drive for success. Her favorite color, purple, yes, resembles from a scent called lavender to a veteran's medal of honor called Purple Heart to a gemstone called lavender jade. This color reminds me of the song, yeah, Purple Rain, yeah. To Race to Purple People Eater by Ray Stevens, yeah. She symbolizes beauty, sympathy, fame, independence, connotation, imaginative, wisdom, juxtapose, profounding, creativity, inspiration, keepsake, patience, forcing, complexity, flexibility, portrait, faith, friendship, and family. Callista, my friend, here's to another year of experience. I wish you a best of luck in your bright future endeavors. Keep up on what you do best as an up-and-coming singer-songwriter and and performing with your band, Con Sal y Limon. Yeah. Hopefully one day we'll meet again in the future. Tell Damian I said hello. Hope all is well. End quote. All right. What'd you think, Richie?
Cool, man. Very, very similar poems in dedication to her and her band, Con Sal y Limon.
Thank you.
You got one last quick one?
Okay. All right. Give me 3 seconds.
1, 2, 3. And all right, ready?
All right. And this one's for you, Kit, as request. It's called Kit that rhymes with a knit or first aid kit. Well, you're about to find out. This is for you, Kit. My friend Kit, covers that fit like a glove, reach for the stars above. Yeah, his name's rhymes with a sewing kit, a yarn to knit. And I'm not talking, and I'm not talking about a zombie that bit. No. His performance on his poetry, endless amount, like it's not kind of limited, but with the bottomless pit of words. So with the of Kit, his work needs to be submit. So I say Kit Wren. That's a last name. It's like a bird. Have you heard? It's a bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word. Okay. Kit, you're safe on a base hit. If you fly an airplane located at the cockpit, you need a permit if you want to fly. Yeah, it's so sly. You said you just like you said, your performance, by the way, Kit, it's a double knit, reverse to split, throw a fit, like I'm cooking ribs at a barbecue pit. Would you like a banana split? And bring me a first aid kit. Well, I have to admit, your performance, I like it. I'm not going to edit it. Keep up what you do best, Kit. See you later, Kit. Last name Wren. Like a song. Last name Wren, like a songbird. Have you heard? Bird, bird, bird.
Oh man, you froze. Where was that going? I want to. There it is. Oh, that was a epic. That was an epic pause, man. Epic pause. Bird, bird, bird. Bird is the
word.
Word. Hey man, you did a birthday poem to Kit. Hell yeah, that was amazing. That was history. That was history. What do you think, Kit?
What do you think?
That was everything I hoped it would be. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Kit. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll post that. I'll post that on Friday for Kit's birthday. And okay. Speaking of Fridays, do not miss my 24th birthday tribute to Callista Singley. Yeah, it's this Friday. Do not miss it. Just follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and find Dan Vance Weekly on YouTube, and follow me on my Facebook. And please do not miss it. All right, thank you guys, and you guys gonna like this one. So, all right, guys, see you at the after party. Back to you, Kit. I'm sorry, back to you. Wait, okay, back to you, Kit. Okay.
Well, he decided. I guess I'm stepping down, Kit. It's all you know.
Back to me. Yes. Well. Richie has the list, but I'm pretty sure that was the last performer.
I was actually gonna ask Mr. Tesosomog if he had any words as we close out to Yolanda, Tyrone, anyone who performed, because it was really helpful and help getting this ready today.
I want to thank Tyrone. I think I've expressed my adulation of him being on here, and then obviously Yolanda had to go. She drove down to the university so she could have good internet, and some of us forget that some people it's a challenge to be on an open mic, and so she had to take a cab back to her where she lives. Obviously she can't drive, so she was really sad she left, but she really wanted to. They said they were gonna be listening on the way there, and then when she got home she was going to try to listen to the remainder of the show. So I'm really happy. I think it was an awesome show. I think we stepped up the quality of everybody, brought up their A game, and I think even Dan brought up his A game. He has a new video camera. He just needed to shave. It would have been like 101, but I think that everybody did an awesome job, and I'm really happy.
Thank you.
I want to continue to work on us, building that community that is positive for us, and that allows us to, push each other to put out more interesting stuff. Obviously, you guys know that I do crazy stuff with the videos and all that other stuff. If you see any of that stuff, but I mean, I think everybody was awesome tonight. I was just incredibly impressed and very happy with the show. I think this is an amazing show. And I think Richie is ready to announce what his next A game is going to be. Are you ready to announce that tonight?
My next A game. Wait, what? Hold on.
Yeah, don't you have a November 2nd event coming up?
Oh damn, I forgot about. I hold on. I gotta check my calendar. We talked about it, but I never wrote it down.
November 2nd.
All right, remind me, because I.
So on November 2nd, we're gonna do another feature, and it's gonna be Dia de los Muertos event. Dan is welcome to dress up as his favorite Coco character, and people. We're gonna have a contest. What did you dress up for Dia de los Muertos event? And we already have one person we're thinking who's able to scare the willies out of us, who we're going to ask if they're going to be able to be one of our features, and then we'll work on that. So I'm excited. So I'm hoping all you guys will be interested. In 2 weeks, we'll have a good Dia de los Muertos, celebrate our elders, our ancestors in the best way we can, and we have a good show here. So I'm really excited, and I think we talked about this, and if you guys are up for it, we can make this. I think Richie said he was gonna prize the best looking person or costume with one of his 6-packs of the BWOM's beer. So I don't know about that, you know.
Yes, that'd be really cool. I'll this is what it is right now.
Yeah, there you go.
And we'll just slap a BWOM sticker on front of it. Yeah, okay. I didn't mean to interrupt, but yeah, that's right. So we did talk about that November 2nd, Dia de los Muertos. That'd be awesome. We'll maybe do like a contest of some sort, and it'll be super fun. Let me see what else did I want to say about that. Yeah, we got a couple more things this month, every Monday. So I know, and in 2 weeks, I want to get Erica, aka Poet Conras Fire, as a featured. As a host, guest host. So that should be kind of cool. So stay tuned. If you already don't follow us at the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series on social media, all you have to do is just look that up. And if you want to donate, I left this back up here. I should probably set these up for BWOMs, but anything helps kind of keep this running, helps me pay funds for like the Zoom account, the professional Zoom account that I subscribe to, or it's either way, it's good having you guys here, whatever. So I'm going to end the show. Join us next Monday. It's going to be really cool. If you do follow us online at Barbed Wire, I post the list sometime like kind of mid to late week. That way, so you can have like the later weekend and the weekend to sign up. And then, the earlier you sign up, obviously the earlier you get on. It's kind of like a gamble sometimes. Sometimes people like leave it to the very last minute to sign up. And, I just want to showcase you guys. That's really, it is a gathering. But as you heard a couple times, we do have an after party. So if you want to join us, you're always welcome. Even if you don't want to perform, we kind of just chat a little bit, till people slowly fade away. So thank you all of you guys for joining us. If you guys want to unmute and just like clap and cheer for everyone to perform tonight, give some snaps, show some love. Let's show that love.
Yeah. What a great show we had, everybody. Awesome.
Great show, guys. Really great show.
Woo!
Awesome. Perfect. And with that, we're going to go ahead and say bye to you guys on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. Leave a comment.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Robin.
Bye, Robin.
So if you guys
See ya.
Awesome. So if you guys want to leave a comment below, like the page, subscribe for future shows. We'll see you guys